It is time for high school football here on MyCentralNebraska.com TV. With Ryan Kump, I'm Don Strecker, and tonight we are at Pawnee Parks Memorial Stadium as the Central City Bison are in town to take on the Scotus Central Catholic Shamrocks. Scotus comes in with a record of 1 win and no losses. The Shamrocks last week defeating Aquinas 27-19. That was down in David City at Memorial Field. Meanwhile, Central City losing 34-13 to St. Paul to drop to 0-1 on the season. That game was played at Preferred Popcorn Field in Central City. And so these two teams meet up for the second year in a row. These two teams played in Central City a year ago, and it was the Bison that came away victorious in that contest, 28-20 over the Shamrocks. And it kind of sent the Shamrocks on a 3-game tailspin. They ended up going 1-3 over their first 4 games last year before finishing with a record of 4-5 on the season and just missing out on the playoffs by 1 game. We had a chance to talk to the 2 head coaches before tonight's contest, and we will listen to those 2 interviews. First of all up will be Troy Huppert, the head coach of the Central City Bison, and we'll have that coming up for you right now.
At Eye Care Associates, optometrists have been providing comprehensive eye care to Central City, Merritt County, and surrounding communities since 1981. Let the doctors of Eye Care Associates help. At Eye Care Associates, optometrists have been providing comprehensive eye care to Central City, Merritt County, and surrounding communities since 1981. Let the doctors of Eye Care Associates help you take care of your eyes with professional and comprehensive eye exams and state-of-the-art equipment. And if you need glasses, the friendly and helpful staff will help select the frames that fit you best. Better vision and great service. That's all at Eye Care Associates of Central City, where your family's vision is their first concern. McElday & Company in Central City is the one-stop shop for all of your plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and hardware needs. They provide a range of services, fixing clogged drains and leaking pipes, along with handling septic systems, new installation repairs, commercial and residential projects, and offer backflow prevention testing and repair. They also have the best electrical selection in the area, as well as hardware and lawn and garden supplies. Whether you need help or just a tool to do it yourself, count on McElday & Company, 306 G Street in Central City.
Don Strecker back here on the pregame show, and I'm joined now by the head coach of the Central City Bison, Troy Huppert. And Coach, before we talk about tonight's game against Scotus, let's go back to last week's game against St. Paul. Was that one of the tougher offensive and defensive lines your teams have faced over the years?
Yeah. St. Paul, we knew going in, was a really talented team, and they had some good size. And, they made it difficult all night on both sides of the ball, and we struggled at times to block them. And, it was a little bit of combination offensively, quarterback hanging onto the ball a little bit too long, and our offensive line as well. Just those negative plays really hurt us. We got out of rhythm on offense and really just couldn't get anything sustained all night long. And, as far as the defensive side, they moved the ball pretty well on us in the running game and had some big plays. That was the one thing we knew we had to stop was the big plays, the home run plays, and Larson was able to get loose. So, St. Paul's a really good football team. They're gonna win a lot of games this year.
You mentioned Michael Rutherford, your quarterback. He was under duress most of the night, yet he completed 22 of 33 passes. So that kind of shows his accuracy, I think. And I believe he mentioned to the press after the game Friday night that he had some drops too. So he was even more accurate than 22 of 33.
Yeah, Michael threw the ball really well when he, when he gets his feet set and he knows where his eyes are in the right place and he's getting the ball out on time. He does a really good job, but. We just were unable to, like I said, just sustain drives and if he has time and can get the protection and his receivers are running good routes, he's going to complete a lot of passes. And as a second-year starter, he's expected to make a jump this season.
And then you had 5 different receivers catch balls. Christian Coleman was your leader. But that really speaks, I think, to your receivers, too, that they were able to get open.
Yeah, we do. We got some experience back at receiver. That's one position where we had a lot of guys back. Christian Coleman's our running back, but he does just as good of catching the ball out of the backfield. And we do a lot of sets where we split him out wide, and he catches the ball really well. So, yeah, our receivers are going to continue to get better, and we're going to see a little bit of a different look this week with some man and some press man. Like we have in the past from Scotus, so it'll be a different kind of test for our receivers, and excited to see how they do.
Talking to Troy Hubert, the head coach of Central City, before tonight's game against the Shamrocks. You mentioned Scotus here a little bit. You were able to knock them off last year, 28-20. Talk about what you did well in that game last year.
It was really similar to some degree as a year ago. We really struggled last year, first game against St. Paul, to move the ball. We only ran for about 50 yards. I think Michael had somewhere 29 carries for 50 yards last year, and then week 2 we came out and were able to run the ball for we had 250 yards rushing on the ground, and we were able to break some long ones and get our run game going. So that's kind of our hope again this year is we've got to continue to stay balanced. We got to be able to run the football, and also be able to spread the ball out and throw it too. So it's going to be a different challenge. We're hoping to take a good jump. A lot of teams get better from week 1 to week 2, and you see a big jump. So we're hoping to do the same.
Now, Scotus over the years have run the wing T offense. This year, they've kind of tweaked it a little bit because of the athleticism that they have at quarterback and some of their receivers. What have you noticed some differences, and what do you need to do to be able to combat that defensively?
Yeah, they have. It's the same type of principles as far as what they're doing offensively, but they're doing it out of a different look, and they're running the read option, and absolutely, with a quarterback like that, you want to get the ball in his hands as many times as possible, and Palmer does a really good job running their offense, and then you got a running back like Mustard who's he's no slouch either. He's a really good back. So between those two guys in the backfield, we know that's our key this week, is to be able to stop those guys and try to make them be able to throw the football, and I know they got some good receivers as well. So we got a really good challenge again this week, seeing another good offense.
And how do you match up special teams with Scotus?
Special teams wise, I think that was one area I felt we played pretty well on Friday. We were really close to getting a blocked punt in there too. We gotta be able to make some plays on special teams, and Scotus has got some with Palmer and Mustard back, returning kicks. They've got some guys back there too. So that's one area where we focus on, and we try to win the battle of special teams every week.
How you doing health wise?
Good. Health wise, we got everybody healthy. So as good as we can be going into week 2.
Alrighty, well, thank you for your time and good luck tonight.
Awesome, appreciate it, thank you.
Alrighty, that's Troy Hubert, the head coach of Central City. Back with more after this here on mycentralnebraska.com.
I'm chasing what I know is true. There's nothing that I would not do. I won't waste another minute, no, I won't. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission.
Are you looking for more from your pharmacy? At Trav's USA Pharmacy in Central City, you'll get more. They offer flu shots, free Medicare counseling, as well as getting you signed up. Call 308-946-3859. Trav's USA Pharmacy, 1414 16th Street, or use their convenient drive-through window to get your medication. Trav's USA Pharmacy, and saying good luck to all the area teams during the fall sports season, especially the Central City Bison, Nebraska Christian Eagles, High Plains Storm, and Palmer Tigers.
Back on the Pinnacle Bank pregame show, and I'm joined now by the head coach of the Scotus Shamrocks, Tyler Linder. And before we talk about tonight's game against Central City, Coach, let's go back to last week's game against Aquinas. You went down to Aquinas, and outside of just a few minutes there in the first half, you were pretty much in control of the game.
Yeah, I like the I like the demeanor that our team had leading up to the game one, especially in preparation. We didn't take Aquinas lightly, and we played well early on. We put 13 points up right away, in consecutive drives, and did extremely well defensively, limiting them to, very few, productive plays. And so we had a few blunders there early, which they capitalized on, took a 19-13 lead on us. But we held strong defensively, got things rolling on offense, and ended up coming away with a victory.
And how did your defense play? Your 3-3 stack has usually stood up pretty well against Aquinas' offense. How did it do Friday night?
Extremely well. I think, the gift that we have this year is speed, and so we're able to get fast guys out there on defense, and that's what that 33 stack is built to do, is to get, teams to move east-west and you to track them down. And so, unless there's teams that can really stand toe-to-toe with our D-line and run right at us, that's going to be a recipe for success going forward.
And I know you've tweaked some things offensively to match your personnel. How did the first test drive of that kind of new offense with the same principles go?
Really well right away. Like I said, we put up 13 points right away last week, but a lot of that was due to the fact that Aquinas had never seen it before and they weren't quite prepared for it. So we had an advantage in that regard, but they caught up pretty quickly, and good teams, force you into some bad situations, and we got our game one blunders out of the way. And so if the second half is indicative of what I think we can do, we can be a ball control offense. We can pick up the pace when we need to, but I was really happy with our first outing with this new system.
Talking to Tyler Linder, the head coach of Scotus, before tonight's game against Central City. Let's talk about the Bison a little bit. Similar to what happened with them last year, in that they played St. Paul in the first game, really struggled to move the ball on the ground, but were able to throw the ball. What do you see on film out of the Bison that gives you some cause for concern?
Well, big play potential at any time. They've got a quarterback that's used to their system, and he's got a great arm, and he's dangerous with his legs. So our secondary is going to have a really difficult time matching up with some of their skill position, but I'm really excited to see what my inside six can do against their offensive line and any pass rush that we can get on them. So we got to keep everything in front of us, eliminate the big play, and try to corral some of their big-time playmakers and force them to distribute the ball elsewhere.
I know their quarterback last year, Michael Rutherford, gave you some problems over there when they won 28-20. He was pretty accurate, even though he was pretty much running for his life the whole game against St. Paul, 22 of 33 through the air, and some of those were drops, some of the incompletions. What do you see out of him, and can you guys keep him under control?
He's a very talented player. He's a dual-threat quarterback, like you said. He likes to throw on the run. I don't think he's super confident in the pocket. He's not the tallest of guys, so getting him outside gives him an opportunity for a little bit better downfield vision. But I think what we'll pose a problem with is we're going to run a mix of coverages, but mostly man-to-man like we like to run. And St. Paul was kind of a cover 3, and he was able to find soft spots and zones, and hopefully he won't have those soft spots to hit, that we'll be able to cover those guys up, at least make those throws a little bit tighter for him this week.
How is your special teams doing so far? Do you feel like that's an area that you can get an advantage over not only Central City but some other teams down the road?
We put a lot of emphasis on our special teams game, but right now we're struggling there a little bit, to be honest with you. We're not blessed with a great guy to kick it off the tee. We've got some guys there that are doing a good job, but they just don't have a lot of experience. So our consistency isn't where Coach Roger Krinke, our special teams coordinator, and I like it to be. But there's progress. I've seen great progress the last few weeks, and hopefully tonight we put everything together.
How are you doing health-wise?
We've got a few, bumps and bruises here or there. We've got a starter that'll probably sit out tonight and get him, the needed rest that he needs to be healthy for the rest of the season. But all in all, I'd say that we're as healthy as we've been.
All righty. Well, thanks for your time, and good luck tonight.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. That's Tyler Linder, the head coach of the Scotus Shamrocks. Back with more here on MyCentralNebraska.com.
That was Tyler Linder, the head coach of the Scotus Shamrocks, as they get set for tonight's game against Central City. And welcome back to the Pinnacle Bank pregame show. Pinnacle Bank is a Nebraska-based bank, proud to serve local families, businesses, and communities. Family-owned and operated, Pinnacle Bank values long-term relationships with employees and customers. Go to pinbank.com. That's PINN bank.com. Member FDIC. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. First of all, for the Scotus Shamrocks. They are coached by Tyler Linder. And they will go, here's their starting offensive lineup. Along the offensive line of scrimmage, it'll be Caleb Weesey, 220-pound senior. Evan Hand, a 185-pound senior. Cade Weesey, a 220-pound junior. Alex Novicki, a 190-pound junior. And Sebastian Fritz, a 190-pound junior. The tight end is Levi Robertson, a 180-pound senior. At quarterback is Tyler Palmer, 185-pound senior. The running backs are Eric Mustard, a 180-pound senior, and Devin Borchers, a 175-pound sophomore. And the receivers are Garrett Oakley, a 190-pound sophomore, and Evan Bach, a 165-pound junior. Also expected to see some time offensively is Dalton Borchers. He's a 180-pound senior.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and we're going to step away for the – well, actually, we are going to step aside by the prayer and also for the national anthem here. And we will step aside for that.
And running through Friday, September 13th, numerous high schools, colleges, and universities throughout the state are demonstrating why safety in athletics begins with having an athletic trainer. According to a study conducted by the American Academy of Pediatrics, the presence of athletic trainers in the secondary schools allows for lower overall injury rates, improves diagnosis and return to play decisions, and reduces the risk for recurrent injuries. Joining at midfield are Scotus Central Catholic athletic trainer Andrew Sheridan and Central City athletic trainer Josh Salinas. On a daily basis, the athletic training staff for both schools play a vital part in keeping all student athletes healthy and safe. As a part of the Safety in Football campaign, high school and college teams all across Nebraska this week will be donning a small helmet sticker on the back of each player's helmet. The sticker represents the cumulative efforts of these schools and the Nebraska State Athletic Trainers Association towards improving the overall safety of all sports in Nebraska. For more information on how you can keep your athletes safe, visit the Nebraska State Athletic Trainers Association website at www.nsata.org. And now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Memorial Stadium for tonight's game. We'd like to begin tonight's activities with an opening prayer, which will then be followed by our national anthem. At this time, I'd ask that you all please rise, remove your hats, bow your heads, let us pray. Heavenly Father, you have blessed us with many talents and abilities and have given us the desire to bring them to perfection. May our competition this evening bear witness to the fact that through discipline and practice, your gifts of grace have borne fruit. As we test ourselves against one another, let us be mindful of our unity through the sportsmanship and respect we give to one another. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. And now please remain standing and help us honor America by placing your right hand over your heart and join in singing the national anthem as it is led by the Scotus Pep Band under the direction of Mrs. Kristen Cox. Servicemen and veterans, whether or not in uniform, may render the military salute.
the Scotus Pep Band under the direction of Kristen Cox. And we were looking at the Scotus offensive lineup. And these lineups brought to you by Ruruka Ag and Auto. Ruruka Ag and Auto of David City is an independently owned and operated CarQuest auto parts store. Central City will have the ball to start things off. Here's their lineup. At quarterback is Michael Rutherford. He is a 160-pound senior. At running back is Christian Coleman. He's a 155-pound senior. The receivers are Josiah Ullman, a 160-pound senior. Tanner Snyder-Hines. He is a 160-pound junior. Along with Jake Twist. He is a 165-pound junior. Trevor Ziska, 170-pound senior. And Charles McGinnis, he is a 180-pound junior. Along the offensive front for Central City, it'll be Austin Wells, a 175-pound senior. Jordan Buckow, a 195-pound senior. Eric Lenz is a 195-pound junior. Nick Erickson is a 200-pound senior. And Dylan Kuchera is a 235-pound senior. Both teams out on the field here as we're getting set to get underway. It will be kicking off for the Shamrocks, Cade Weesey. He receives the ball from the official. Back deep is Rutherford. Also back deep for Central City is Coleman. So Coleman and Rutherford back deep for the Bison. Shamrocks and the Bison, we are underway. This is Coleman. Bringing it back to the 20, 25, 30, and up ended at the 35. So good return there by Central City. They had it well blocked right along the hash mark there on the right side. And they were able to get the ball out to the 35-yard line. And that's where they'll take over 1st and 10. Last week they had some trouble running the ball. They ended up minus yardage running, but Rutherford threw for 176 yards and completing 22 of 33 passes. Puts Coleman in motion, gives it off to him on a jet sweep. Shamrock's chasing it down, and it's taken down by Borchers after a gain of 5 yards on the play. So right off the bat, Central City able to get some yardage on 1st down. So gain of 5 brings up a 2nd down and 5. Ball at the 40-yard line. Scotus in that 3-3 stack defense. Rutherford looking. And he's looking for Coleman. Pass is picked off. That's Palmer. Back to the 30. 35 looking for a block. He's got an opening downfield, and he steps out of bounds. Boy, he was trying to tightrope that sideline and was forced out of bounds there in Central City territory. And that's where the Shamrocks will take over 1st and 10. 2nd interception of the season for the Shamrocks. Garrett Oakley had the pickoff last week. Central City last week was -2 in the takeaway turnover battle. They're 0-1 so far here tonight. This is Mustard. Mustard's wrapped up, but still fights forward and picks up a yard on the play before he's grabbed by a couple of the Central City defensive players. That was Eric Lenz that had a hold of him to begin with, and then got some help from some of his teammates. And they get the ball to the 43-yard line. 2nd and 9 for the Shamrocks. Palmer waits for the snap. They're going to run a sprint option. Palmer himself, he's got running room. The 30, 25, 20, and he is down the sideline and gone. Touchdown, Shamrocks. Tyler Palmer goes 30, make that 43 yards for the Shamrock touchdown. And right there, you saw the speed of Tyler Palmer. A lot of times he will be the fastest man on the field for either ball club, and he certainly showed that speed here. Palmer, a Nebraska baseball recruit. He excelling on football as well. Last week he had over 140 yards rushing. Both he and Mustard did, and now he kicks the extra point right through there. 10:34 left to play here in the 1st quarter. Scotus leads it 7-0 here on mycentralnebraska.com.
The best caterers are Wonderlicks Catering, again voted best caterers and the best chicken. For weddings, anniversaries, funeral dinners, graduations, any occasion, see Wonderlicks Catering, Columbus. Everyone loves the great fresh taste at Taco John's in Columbus on Howard Boulevard. Home of the best tacos and best breakfast burritos in town. Unwrap the original at Taco John's, Columbus.
My Taco John's.
Serving the Columbus area since 1880 is Insurance Services of Columbus, the oldest, wholly locally owned insurance company at 13th Street and 23rd Avenue, downtown Columbus. Call Al Nabalski.
Ernst is a proud supporter of all area athletes. Finding the vehicle you want at a great price is our priority.
Ernst, the one place. Ernst, great service for a great price. It's Ernst.
Back here at Pawnee Parks Memorial Stadium, a 43-yard run by Tyler Palmer. And that was set up by Palmer's interception of a Michael Rutherford pass. And Shamrocks needed just 2 plays, a 1-yard run by Eric Mustard and then the 43 run by Palmer. Here's Weesey's kick. Drives Coleman back to the 3. Follows his blocking off the left side up to the 20 and then is driven out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Eric Mustard there, one of the players to make the stop. Also there getting up off the pile is Garrett Oakley. Mustard is the leading tackler for the Shamrocks. He led the team in tackles all of last year and had 15 in the victory over Aquinas last week. So Central City, 1st and 10. They give it off to Coleman and not much. As he picks up a couple yards there before he's stopped. As he gets from the 25 up to the 27-yard line. Central City really had trouble running the ball last week against a really big St. Paul defense. Here's Rutherford taking off, and he's got a first down as he gets up to the 40-yard line. So Rutherford, on what looked like a designed run, it was a quarterback draw up the middle. He picks up 13 yards and a first down. Now Rutherford back to throw and fires it out in the flat, and the pass is incomplete. Tried to hit Coleman out in the flat as he was rolling that direction. And Coleman is thrown kind of at Coleman's feet. So that will bring up a 2nd down and 10. Ball back at the 40-yard line. And now we've got a whistle. Looks like we've got maybe an equipment problem. Official stopping the play. Now we're ready to go. Here is Coleman again. Coleman, and a flag goes flying. Coleman's got a first down as he gets across midfield and into Scotus territory. But we'll see what the flag is all about here. This might be against Central City. We'll see. So their officials are talking about it. Central City walking backwards, so I'd assume this is on them. It is a holding penalty against the Bison. So this will back them up. That'll wipe out a 12-yard run, or correction, a 17-yard run by Coleman as he got all the way down to the Scotus 43-yard line. This is going to back him up. They step off 10 yards back to the 30-yard line. And it'll bring up a
Central City 30-yard line.
First and make that a 2nd down and 20.
Bring up a 2nd and 20 for the Bison.
Ball back at the 30-yard line. Rutherford looking over at the sideline, trying to get a signal from the coaching staff. Now he rolls out. They set up a screen. And in the open field, here's a receiver with the ball, and that is Charles McGinnis. McGinnis gets, looks like 13 yards, and now do we have another flag? We do have another flag. It's over on the far side of the field, laying by the 30-yard line. So we'll see what this penalty is all about. And Central City walking back again. So this would wipe out another 10-plus yard gain by the Bison. They're talking about it over there. And it's an ineligible man downfield against Central City.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
So evidently one of the linemen got downfield a little bit too quickly on that screen pass. And it will cost Central City some more yardage. I believe they'll walk it back to the 25-yard line. So 2 penalties here on this possession for Central City. Moves the ball back to the 25. It's 2nd and 25. And now Rutherford looks over the sideline. And now he calls out to his lineman, calls the play. And it's quarterback draw. Looking for yardage. Boy, he's got some yardage. And he's got back to the original line of scrimmage. Ryan Kump joining me now on the broadcast. And Ryan, they are Central City putting themselves in a little bit of a hole with those penalties.
Well, doing a great job, though, of working kind of that short passing game, and now hurry-up offense. Interesting look here for head coach Troy Hubert.
Rutherford gave Scotus some problems last year with his running ability, and he has so far in this one as well. He's got runs of 13 and 17 yards. 3rd and 8. Give it off to Coleman, and Coleman's going to be stacked up in the backfield. Making the initial hit that time was Caleb Weesey. He couldn't hold on to him, but then finishing him off was Evan Hand.
Yeah, that was a big stop by Caleb. 6 foot, 220-pound senior. Boy, big hit there on the end of the play, though, to clean it up by one of the linebackers from Scotus. Big defensive stop there done, and now Scotus, after having an early 7-0 lead, we got penalties on the punt, but good start defensively for them.
And it's a short punt. Flag goes flying as the ball is down at the Scotus 39-yard line, so we'll see what this penalty flag is about.
Jake Twist, there is a flag on the play.
See who the penalty flag is. Tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by Trav's You Pharmacy, along with Eye Care Associates of Central City, McElnay and Company, and the Knights of Columbus. Roy Metter, your insurance agent in the Columbus area.
Well, Don, that's penalty going to be against Central City. I think Scotus is going to go ahead and take this and move him back, so it'll be a re-punt situation. Not the best punt for Central City anyway, so it actually might help them a little bit. Actually, it's going to be against the Shamrocks. Illegal substitutions.
Evidently, maybe they had 12 guys on the field. Of course, Scotus missing one of their starters tonight, and sometimes when you're missing a starter, guys miss when they're supposed to be in the ball game. Simon Schumacher with a strained MCL, so he's out for this game. They're hoping to have him back next week against West Point Beamer. And so it's 4th and 9, and now it looks like Rutherford might be going for it. He's got 5 wide receivers in there. 4th and 9 at the 41-yard line, and now he backpedals. Maybe a little bit more of a quick kick. Waiting for it, and he does quick kick it. Angle shot, trying to keep it away from Palmer. This one's going to be a better punt for Central City, and it's down by Ullman at the 31-yard line.
Good call there by head coach Troy Hubert. Once again, just trying to make sure Scotus doesn't try and come after that punt. Kind of got it to where they had to play conservative there on the punt formation just to make sure Central City didn't go for it. Now, be interested to see how aggressive Scotus is right here. Do you go to the air or try and get the ground game working? Something that they've been able to do through the first game of the season.
They had 325 yards rushing last week against Aquinas. This is a sweep to Devin Borchers, and he's not going to get much. And another flag comes flying in. Well, that's 4 flags now over the last 5 plays.
Well, Don, of course, early in the season, you're going to see a lot of that. Normally in week 1, week 2 is a little bit better, but, well, the yellow flag rearing its ugly head here, and it's going to go against the Shamrocks. Both teams having some penalty issues early on.
Legal use of the hands against the Shamrocks. And so this will back Scotus up. And it'll take him inside the 25-yard line. I think they're going to probably put the ball down at the 22. So a 10-yard penalty against the Shamrocks. So give Borchers a gain of 1 on the play. And then a 10-yard holding or illegal use of the hands penalty. So 1st and 19, ball back at the 22-yard line. And now another flag. This is reminding me a little bit of Scotus and Boone Central Newman Grove from a couple years ago, where the two teams combined for about 35 or 40 penalties.
Yeah, it's just one of those things early in the season you're going to see a lot of, but yeah, that's 3 or 4 straight plays now we've seen penalties on.
So Scotus now at the 27-yard line. Make that 1st and 14. Palmer calls his count at the line of scrimmage, looks at a 4-man front. Central City may be showing blitz here right now. Palmer still calling his count. No movement yet, and now he takes the snap, and he takes it up the middle, and he breaks a tackle, breaks another one, and he's close to a first down. Good run there by Tyler Palmer as he gets from the 27 up to the 42-yard line, a pickup of 15 yards and a first down for the Shamrocks. Ball's at the 42-yard line in Scotus territory. Palmer calls his count. Now he gives it off. Here's Mustard. Mustard, who also had a good game last week against Aquinas. Mustard had 146 yards on 24 carries last week. And he picks up 8 there on first down. So a lot of things that Scotus can do now here on 2nd and 2. They could run it, they could pass it. Probably will stay on the ground. As I mentioned, they rushed for 325 yards last week against Aquinas. And this is Mustard, and he's got enough, looks like, for the first down. He's going to be stacked up, and we'll see where they mark the ball at. One official is at the 46, the other one's at the 47. They're going to go with the guy that's at the 47. And that's a pickup of 5 on the play. And a first down for the Shamrocks, and they are on the move again, just like they were in their first possession. Ball at the 47-yard line. Palmer, and that's a stretch play, or actually a read option, and Mustard takes it again. Mustard from the 47 takes it down to the 43-yard line. And he has 4 carries for 18 yards here in the early going.
Yeah, Don, kind of a methodical drive here early on. Scotus not afraid of running through the tackles. For how small Mustard is, 5'11", 180 pounds, not really afraid of going between the tackles where the big guys are.
No, and Mustard has some pedigree. His uncle, Chad, played in the NFL. And here is Borchers, and Dalton Borchers carries the defenders for the first down. Good, strong effort there by Dalton Borchers. Now, Eric Mustard's uncle, Chad, played for the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. In fact, he caught a couple passes for the Broncos.
Pretty good lineage there, and of course right there, a nice play call by Tyler Linder, the head coach. Scotus running between the tackles. That time they go with the jet sweep on the wide receiver in Dalton Borchers. And now here comes a screen pass near side, and it's going to go out to Garrett Oakley. Oakley making a man
Oakley
miss.
Gets away from the defender and gets out of bounds, and there goes a flag. I think they're going to maybe get a late hit. He was already out of bounds when he was knocked down. And we'll see, wait and see who the flag is on here, but it looked like Rutherford might have hit him all after he was out of bounds. We'll see. And it is a personal foul against Central City. So that will move the ball half the distance to the goal, down to the 8-yard line. And that is 4 penalties for 28 yards already for the Bison. So that will move the ball down to the 8-yard line. Scotus up 7-0 and looking to add more here as we're halfway through the first quarter of play. In with the play comes Devin Borchers. Of course, their sister Shania Borchers was a starter on that state championship basketball team for Scotus a couple years ago. She's playing volleyball at Central Community College right now. Man in motion is Devin Borchers. And it's a sprint option. They're going to pitch it out to Mustard, heading for the pylon, and he's in there. Touchdown. Eric Mustard with his second touchdown of the season. An 8-yard run. And the Shamrocks increase their lead to 13-0 with 5:51 left to play here in our opening quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what, over the years, Scotus doing such a good job of running the football. Still running the football, just kind of out of different formations now, but still effective as always. And now the extra point, good. How about that, 14-0 Shamrocks. And they got control of this one early on. We'll see if Central City can answer when we come back. You're listening to High School Football and watching High School Football on mycentralnebraska.com.
At Columbus Community Hospital, your health matters. We offer a complete line of healthcare services close to home. You can count on skilled and compassionate care around the clock. For more information, follow us on social media or visit columbushosp.org.
Keep your business looking good. Call Jackson Services in Columbus, offering uniform and linen rental, entrance mats, mops, paper and soap products, and air fresheners, delivering quality and service to their customers for 90 years. It's Jackson Services.
Loop Power District, serving you electrically, actively promotes economic development throughout the region and maintains 5 area parks for public use. Loop Power District, serving you electrically.
Great Plains State Bank in Columbus, Petersburg, and coming soon to O'Neill. For all of your financial needs and the personal service you deserve, whether it's in person or online, contact Great Plains State Bank at 564-6077 or gpsbanks.com. Federal FDIC equal housing lender.
14-0, Shamrocks on top. Coleman and now Ullman back deep for Central City. They did have Rutherford back there, but now Ullman is the other deep back, and as he's done on the first 2 kickoffs, Coleman will bring it back to his right side. Another flag goes flying, and Ullman's knocked down just short of the 30-yard line. This one might be coming back. And right now, both teams struggling with penalties. We've had 6 penalties called so far in this one. We're barely halfway through the first quarter, and that really, one of the things, Ryan, when you have a lot of penalties like that, you really lose the rhythm of the game, or the game becomes very choppy.
Well, especially for Central City right now, that's kind of a spread attack just like Scotus, but they like to run up to the line, hurry up. And you could even see Scotus was doing that a few times here early in this first quarter. But, yeah, it's really tough to do that when you have all these penalties because it's kind of just stop, go. When you get into the natural flow of a game, the tempo seems to become a lot easier, and everyone, like you said, can get in a rhythm. And, wow, this is going to push Central City back again.
Yep, it's a 10-yard legal use of the hands penalty. Of course, you see a lot of penalties on kickoffs and punts. That seems to be the majority of the penalties come from those 2 plays. So they move the ball back to the 15-yard line. Penalty took place at the 25, so that's why it's marked there. Here is a quick slant. And, boy, what a catch that time. Fighting it off, Jake Twist making the catch, as he was able to fight off Oakley.
Yeah, that was a fantastic catch. I thought there was going to be an interception, honestly.
Yeah, it almost was. Now Rutherford will call his own number and pick up 3. He's going to leave him a couple yards short of that first down. And this is the rhythm we're talking about with Central City. They get up the line quickly, want to snap the ball in a hurry, run a lot of plays in a short amount of time. They've got 3 receivers to the far right field on the numbers. They give it off Coleman. He's got the first down. He's got an opening, and he's going to get good yardage up to midfield. And now here's another late flag, as Scotus this time makes late hit out of bounds. I think that was Evan Hand that was going after the player, and after he had already stepped out of bounds. So this is going to be a 15-yarder against the Shamrocks.
Well, Don, while they're sorting that out, I got that instant replay up here. Of course, that is one of our great things here on mycentralnebraska.com. We'll see that great catch over again here. And, wow, it's pretty impressive here for Central City. Take a look at that here quick. What a grab.
I thought Oakley was going to come over the top and be able to pick that off. He had it pretty well played, really, but it was just a well-thrown ball and a well-timed catch, or well-timed on both ends. And Central City now with 15-yard penalty, they have a first down in Scotus territory. And that was a well-designed play, the one that they just got the first down on. They put everybody on one side and then ran to the opposite side. And you'll see teams do that sometimes. Here's Rutherford again, and he's going to pick up yardage across the 45 down to the 42.
Well, that's one thing right there, Don, where Central City struggled with last week. The quarterback, Rutherford, he had 21 carries last week, minus 18 yards. So if they can get him in the running game, boy, that's really going to help Central City.
Boy, that was well played that time, almost picked off by Palmer. Boy, he read that all the way. You could see him take off and sprint as soon as that ball was faked to the running back. He read it right away and almost picked it off.
Well, even on that spectacular catch earlier, I thought that was picked off because I think Scotus' secondary right now playing so well. Seems like every time Central City even makes a grab, you got defenders for the Shamrocks right there, right in their face, ready to make a tackle, if not a play on the ball.
Big play here for Central City. 3rd and 6 at the Scotus 42. rolling out. He's got Coleman open. Can he get to it? No. Can't quite hold on to it. That was another problem that they had last week, is some of the receivers had trouble holding on to the ball. Now, that would have been a spectacular catch by Coleman, no doubt about it. But it's a play that if you ask him, I'm sure he would tell you who should have made.
Well, it's also one of those things where maybe he got thrown off just because he knew he was right by the sideline. He had to drag his feet. I think maybe that took a little bit of his concentration to try and make that drag instead of make the catch.
4th and 6. Central City going for it, it looks like. And they've got 5 receivers out there. Empty backfield, although this might be a place where Rutherford may take off and go. And again, he gave Scotus all kinds of fits last year running the ball. And now we've got a whistle, and it's a delay of game, or did they get a timeout called first? We'll wait and see. It is a timeout called by Central City. You know, we mentioned the change in Scotus's offense. Well, they've been a wing T offense for years and years. That was begun when Roger Cranky took over as head coach, and then Tyler Linder has kind of adopted that same offense. What they did this year, because they have the athleticism of a Tyler Palmer, and really in the wing T offense, the quarterback really doesn't run the ball all that much. They decided to tweak their offense a little bit, you know, with the idea that you give the ball to your fastest guy, your best ball handler, or your best, your quickest guy, and try to get him out in space. And that really seemed to pay dividends for him, especially in this game so far.
Well, especially if you have a team like Scotus, where you have a guy like Palmer at quarterback. You know, it's just like what you see in the college game right now. If you have a dynamic player at quarterback, even though maybe he isn't the most accurate player right away, you can develop that arm because, you know, his legs are going to take care of a lot of things, even if you have a weaker offensive line. Now, I'm not saying Scotus doesn't have that, but I tell you what, that really opens up the field for your spread option attack, and it's kind of the same concepts, but it's in a different formation.
4th and 6, Central City out of the timeout, and as Rutherford fakes the handoff, takes it himself. He's got the first down, as Rutherford able to find a little seam there in the Scotus defense and pick up 8 yards and keep the Central City drive alive. That is their 3rd first down here of this drive. Ball is at the 34-yard line. Central City going quick. Rutherford again, straight up the middle, and he's got good yardage across the 30, down to the 29-yard line. So a pickup of 5 yards. And if you are getting 5 or 6 on first down, there isn't a coach around that won't take that. Now again, Rutherford puts a man in motion, empty backfield, looking, fires it out. Pass is caught by Coleman. Coleman gets away from one defender. He's near the first down before he's driven back. Quick whistle there as they're driving back as he gets to the 24-yard line. We'll have to wait and see where they spot the ball. Actually, they've already called it. That's a first down for Central City.
Well, Don, here it is. Perfect example of a team finally getting in some rhythm. You see some plays where they can get that high tempo going, and here they go.
And no penalties as of yet here on this drive for them. There's Coleman. Nice jump stop. Then he breaks a tackle. Well, that was a nice run there by Coleman. 5-yard run. And, boy, he should have been brought down a couple different times, it looked like. But he kept moving. Was able to make a jump cut to get away from one defender. And then break a tackle and get an extra yard. Now they put a man in motion, fake the handoff. Here's Rutherford going the right side. He's got the first down and more as he gets inside the 10, down to about the 9. And again, this is what Central City did a year ago, as they just put the ball in the hands of Rutherford, and he really carried the load for him most of that game. 1st and goal, ball at the 9. Central City going quickly now. Here's their tempo. There's Rutherford again, going to the right side, getting inside the pylon, and he is in there. Touchdown, Central City. So Michael Rutherford. And just as we said, when you aren't slowed down by penalties, when you're able to go with rhythm, when you're able to go with a quick tempo like they want, then they're able to be productive. And now a little swinging gate look here. Looking to see if Scotus is set up right. If they're not, they will go for 2. But if they are not, actually they're going to snap it. Back to throw, Rutherford looking, fires it over the head of Coleman. And so the 2-point conversion attempt It falls incomplete. A lot of times you'll see teams line up like that and then line up and just kick it. But that time they went for it and misfired on the pass. 14-6, Scotus on top here. 2:48 to play first quarter. Back after this on mycentralnebraska.com.
At Eye Care Associates, optometrists have been providing comprehensive eye care to Central City, Merritt County, and surrounding communities since 1981. Let the doctors of Eye Care Associates help you take care of your eyes with professional and comprehensive eye exams and state-of-the-art equipment. And if you need glasses, the friendly and helpful staff will help select the frames that fit you best. Better vision and great service. That's all at Eye Care Associates of Central City, where your family's vision is their first concern.
Back here at Pawnee Parks Memorial Stadium, Central City on the board now on a 9-yard run by Michael Rutherford. And let's see if we can take a look at that again on instant replay. Here it is. Just takes a snap, takes off, fakes the handoff, and then is able to get outside the numbers. Good block downfield there by Ullman, and then Rutherford able to get inside the pylon for the touchdown. And that pulls Central City to within 14-6. And now they're getting set to kick off. Kicking off for Central City is going to be Trevor Ziska. Palmer back deep along with Mustard for the Shamrocks. Ziska comes forward. High short kick. Palmer takes it to the 16, to the 20. Stutter step to the 25. Gets loose, and he's going to be gone. There he goes. And Palmer, just like that, we mentioned the speed of Tyler Palmer, and you just saw it on display right there as he goes 85 yards for a touchdown. And just like that, the Shamrocks back at the 2-score lead, or a 2-possession lead if you want to use a basketball term, at 20-6.
Man, he was so quick right there. I couldn't even hit the record button in time. I tell you what, he squirted right through the line. I thought he was going to get tripped up right around the 40-yard line, but man, he just blew right away from the defenders, and what a score there, and a big answer for Scotus here early on.
And you saw right there why they changed their offense slightly. They wanted to get the ball in Tyler's hands as much as possible, and you saw why right there, because once he got in the open field, there was nobody that was going to catch him. 21-6, Scotus on top of Central City. We'll keep it here with 2:36 left to play. Let's look at the schedules for the two teams so far. Scotus, again, that victory over Aquinas last week, 27-19. Then after this week's game against Central City, next week they'll be at West Point Beamer. Last year they had a pretty good game against the Cadets. They were way down 35-7, got back to within 35-28 before losing. Then they've got the tough one on September the 20th here at home against the Pierce Blue Jays. Pierce looks like they're the real deal this year. Then we get into district play with Raymond Central, Newman, Lakeview, Logan View, Scribner Snyder, and Wahoo. For the Central City Bison, they started out with that loss to St. Paul. They're at Scotus tonight. Then they're at O'Neill next week. That follows by 2 home games against Ord and Milford. Then 2 road games against GICC and Fairbury. They play Fillmore Central at home, and they finish up with the defending state champions, the Aurora Huskies, on October 25th. So that gives you an idea of what these two teams have coming down the pike. Here's Weesey for the kick. And it's a high spiraling kick. Ullman will take it at the 5. He will go to his right to the 20 and is taken down at about the 30-yard line. So that's where Central City will take over first and 10. Now down 15, Ryan, to the Scotus Shamrocks.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a big moment right here. Is another penalty flag on the field. We'll see what that is about. But, yeah, it's early in the game. Still a lot of time left. But, yeah, Central City got to be intrigued because they scored last possession. But, man, you got to come back and keep your defense off the field for a little bit. Give them a blow. And your offense, try and keep that rhythm. Try and get this to a one-score game.
And this is a big one. This is a 15-yard personal foul penalty. Must have been something after the whistle. Did not see what that was, but I believe they're going to mark it from the 30. If they do, it'll go back to the 15, and Central City will have the long field once again. But if they're able to stay in rhythm, that doesn't seem like that's going to bother them a whole heck of a lot here.
You know, and they had a great year last year. You know, they made the state playoffs for the 11th time in program history. Had a tough loss to Adams Central. Of course, trying to get back there this year. They have a lot of experience. 10 seniors, 10 juniors coming back. But, yeah, early on in the season, still trying to knock off some of that rust.
6 penalties for 53 yards in the first quarter alone for Central City. And that puts them back at the 15-yard line. You won't make a lot of hay if you have bad field position the whole time. But here comes Rutherford again, although he is tripped up after getting a couple yards on the play. Devin Borchers had a shot at him back behind the line of scrimmage, couldn't bring him down. And then finally Mustard and Robertson finally bring him down, but not before he got 4 yards. And he has 8 carries for 64 yards already in this one. They put a man in motion. Here's Rutherford again. He's going to take it himself, and he's wrapped up after a gain of 3 on the play. That was Alex Novicki coming up to make the tackle.
This Scotus defense seems like they're just playing downhill right now, making even if when Central City is having some success, there's some big hits being put on right now.
3rd and 3 for Central City. Big third down here, and we've got a whistle and another flag. And it's going to be an offside penalty on the Shamrocks. I think Rutherford that time may have changed his cadence a little bit, and that drew one of the Shamrocks offside. And that's going to be a first down for Central City. Still 1:41 left to play here in the period. And Central City now with 7 first downs. Scotus with 5, but it's Scotus with the 21-6 lead here, late in quarter number 1. Receivers all over the field. Rutherford back to throw. Looking, fires, pass caught. And Coleman's got another first down as he is going to be wrapped up and then gang tackled at the 40-yard line. So that's 13 more on the play.
That's a good play right there to try and get Coleman open in space. The 5'7" senior, big game last week in their loss. 6 catches, 89 yards, and a touchdown. Pretty dynamic player out wide for the Bison.
He's not very big either, but you can tell that he is shifty, so that makes him effective. Here's a pass downfield. Pass is caught. And running toward the end zone, and they don't bring him down. They're going to mark him down at the 6-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 54 yards. Charles McGinnis making the stop. 54-yard gain on the play. And this is what we were talking about. Again, Central City up the line of scrimmage quickly. They mark the ball out at the 6-yard line. Central City wanting to go quickly off the big play. And now seems to be some confusion along the offensive line. Players not sure where they're supposed to line up. Now they're lined up. Rutherford calling the count. Well, he's got a full house, a lot of blockers in front of him, and he's going to be stopped right at the line. Actually, they're going to pick up a couple yards as he gets from the 6 to the 4. It's kind of a unique formation that time, Ryan, as he had all 3 of his backs in a 3-point stance in front of him.
Yeah, it's not a formation you can really see a whole lot of now. It's almost like a stacked pistol formation, but now they're going to try and spread out Scotus, and we'll see if they maybe do a quarterback draw here and get wide receiver screen out to the near side maybe. That's
been one of their best plays so far here. Rutherford rolls to his left, looking, now fires, pass is knocked away and complete. Devin Borchers was there to knock it out of bounds and bring up second down. Coleman right now 4 of 9 passing for 77 yards. So he has been productive through the air. He's completed 3 out of his last 4.
Well, he also got his legs going there a little bit, so now, even when he rolls out right there, Scotus can't necessarily key on throwing it right now because they might be worried about him running now.
3rd and goal, ball at the 4-yard line. Rutherford calling his count at the line of scrimmage, puts a man in motion, back to throw, looking, screen pass to Coleman, and Coleman is in there, touchdown. Christian Coleman on a 4-yard pass, and that is the second touchdown of the season, I believe, for Coleman. Catching the ball, it is. He had a touchdown catch last week as well. So Coleman catches a 4-yard touchdown pass from Rutherford. And with 22 seconds left to play in the first quarter, 21-12. Scotus on top by 9 here, and now Central City is going to try to make it a 1-possession game. Rutherford will run a option play, and he's going to be stopped back behind the line of scrimmage. So this keeps it a two-possession game here with 22 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Let's go back to that 54-yard pass from Rutherford to Christian Coleman, or correction, to Charles McGinnis. As you can see, good protection there, and he was just able to beat the defender down the sideline. And fortunately, Palmer was able to force him out of bounds and make him step on the sideline before he got into the end zone. But a nice throw by Rutherford and a good catch by McGinnis, and he hit him right in stride.
And then here's the touchdown. Nice little screen play, well blocked, and got in there just enough time. Right there is where you see him break the pylon, and he's in. So big answer, just as we said, Don, for Central City to try and get back into this one.
85-yard drive, and once again they were backed up in their own end of the field, but they were still able to drive all 85 yards and come up with the score. So Central City, the thing that the Bison have to do, though, is they've got to find a way to get some stops here. Scotus has scored its first 3 possessions and leads 21-12. So Central City is going to have to find some way to stop the Shamrocks here at some point in time. Otherwise, we're headed for a shootout, and Central City is behind the 8 ball, running uphill most of the night. They have been so far. And now here's a short squib kick. They're going to keep it short. Picked up there by Borchers. And he's up to the 30, 35, actually short of the 35-yard line. Smart play there by Central City to keep the ball out of Palmer's hands.
Yeah, it is. You're going to give up pretty decent field position, but at least you know number 18 is not going to touch it.
Absolutely. So Scotus has it 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
1st and 10, Shamrocks from their own 34.
And in the backfield right now, along with Palmer right now, is Evan Bach. Put a man in motion across the formation. Now they'll run a sprint option. They pitch it out to Bach. Bach's got some running room. Good block out front there by Oakley. And Bach's going to get out close to the 40-yard line. So a pickup of 6 right there by Evan Bach on his first carry of the night. And that'll do it for our first period of play. A lot of scoring, a lot of penalties, a lot of up and down the field. And after 1 quarter of play, our score, Scotus 21, Central City 12. Back after this here on mycentralnebraska.com.
McElday & Company in Central City is the one-stop shop for all of your plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and hardware needs. They provide a range of services, fixing clogged drains and leaking pipes, along with handling septic systems, new installation repairs, commercial and residential projects, and offer backflow prevention testing and repair. They also have the best electrical selection in the area, as well as hardware and lawn and garden supplies. Whether you need help or just a tool to do it yourself, count on McElday & Company, 306 G Street in Central City.
Chasing what I know is true. There's nothing that I would not do. I won't waste another minute. No, I won't. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission.
Are you looking for more from your pharmacy? At Trav's You Save Pharmacy in Central City, you'll get more. They offer flu shots, free Medicare counseling, as well as getting you signed up. Call 308-946-3859. Trav's You Save Pharmacy, 1414 16th Street, or use their convenient drive-through window to get your medication. Trav's You Save Pharmacy. And
Palmer, first down.
Rutherford and number 55, Nick Erickson.
And once again, we're back here live at Columbus. Scotus taking on Central City, starting the second quarter here. And Scotus not wasting any time. And their second play from scrimmage here, the second quarter, is a run by Palmer. He'll try and get to the line of scrimmage. That's about all he's going to get right now.
A yard.
And that'll be about it. Don, Scotus not wasting any time trying to get some plays in here. Both teams really going to that tempo here. It's nice to actually see that tempo now because of the penalties.
Yep, tempo for both teams. And Scotus now 2nd and 9, ball at the 48.
Palmer in the gun and faked the handoff.
And
got
just
another penalty flag.
That would be called the announcer's jinx right there. Just as we say that they're in rhythm, then something happens to get them out of rhythm, and it's an offside against Scotus. I believe they mean procedure penalty. There's no such thing as offensive offsides. If it's on the offense, it's procedure.
How about the fireworks we've had so far, though, Don? Second week of the season, 21-12. It's going to be a shootout, it looks, so far.
This is the second week in a row that I've seen this. Last week I had Columbus and Norfolk, and Norfolk was up 21-14 at the end of the first, so nothing new for me.
Palmer's going to roll out left, throws near side, has a man open, making the grab at about the 47-yard line. Nice tag by Central City, but going to be too late. Nice pickup there by Garrett Oakley. Oakley pushed out at the Central City 47-yard line. Pitch and catch makes it at least third and manageable now.
And it was a nice route there by Oakley. All he did was just go out and then sit down in the zone and was able to find that open spot in the zone and make a nice catch and secure the ball first before he tried to move upfield.
Almost 2 minutes gone by here in the first half. Gorgeous night here in Columbus for this one. Man in motion from the left to the right. That's one of the tight ends for the Shamrocks. Option. Palmer fakes it, keeps it. He's got the first down, makes one man miss. Man, what a juke. Inside the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Shamrocks. What a run by number 18, Tyler Palmer. And, well, that's exactly what he can bring at offense right there. Boy, I thought he was going to be wrapped up at about the 35-yard line. Nope. How about 2 straight jukes? Almost put the man out of his shoes, and he goes the distance.
I'll tell you what, I think Central City thought they saw quite a running back last week in Larson. They may even see a better one this week in Tyler Palmer because that was incredible. He had players in position, and Central City, really, they had players right where they needed to be. As the extra point is shanked, no good, so it's 27-12. But they had defenders right where they needed to be, and yet he was still able to make moves and get free and go all the way for the touchdown.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that instant replay here in 1 second because, yeah, it's exactly what you're talking about, Don. I tell you what, I don't know if I've seen moves like that since maybe Wyatt Mazur for Boone Central Newman Grove, honestly, because look at this play right here. Nice fake on the option, makes one man miss. Oh, right there.
Yeah.
What a juke.
They had him trapped right there back at about the 30-yard line, and he made one move, one cut, and suddenly he was not there at all. Here it comes again, and right there, that stutter step did it, but then the one at the 32, that's what really set him apart and really put him into the open field away from everybody else.
Well, now, once again, Scotus back in control of this one. Central City looked like they were kind of getting some momentum, and what an answer by the Shamrocks. 27-12 your score. I tell you what, we might be getting into the 30s before the end of the first half here as the kickoff ready to come.
Weezy setting the kick off here.
And the kickoff is away. It's going to be returned at about the 11-yard line. Returned up the far sideline by Josiah Ullman. Nice return. Tripped up across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. So we'll see what Central City can do here against pretty salty Scotus defense here early on. But Central City finally starting to get some rhythm.
I had some stats from the first quarter. Scotus with 118 yards total offense. 20, make that 98 rushing, 20 passing. For Central City, they had 168 yards in the first quarter, 91 rushing, and 77 passing. So a pretty balanced offense there for Central City in that first quarter.
Here comes Rutherford back of the shotgun. He's going to throw deep down the far side. Has a man out there. Oh, right through the hands of Jake Twist, the 6'1 junior. He had 4 catches last week. Thought he was going to have another one there, but, boy, that was almost a touchdown, and there's another drop.
And, again, you're seeing the accuracy of Michael Rutherford, and part of that is he's getting time. The offensive line for Central City doing a much better job of protecting him tonight. But you're seeing the accuracy that he has because that was right on the money once again and just not able to make the connection.
Yeah, you got to be frustrated as a quarterback. You put that right on the numbers. We'll see if he can pick up his receivers here. Second down, fakes the handoff. He's going to give it around the left side. Good run by Rutherford. Thought he was going to get tripped up there about the 35. He's going to get up to the 40. Gain of 8, and so here comes another third down and maybe another spread formation where you maybe go with that quarterback draw that's been so successful.
They've had success with that quarterback draw. I think you would stay with it until Scotus finds a way to stop it. Third and a long 2.
And Rutherford fakes the
comes.
pass. He's going to go straight to the
There's
left
the first
side,
down.
wide open first down. He'll get to about midfield. Good decision to not take a hit as well. And right at midfield, and here comes the Bison. Boy, I tell you what, you said 160-some yards in the first quarter. Usually that's about a first half for most teams if they're having success. But these two teams going up and down the field. It's basketball on grass tonight.
88 yards already for Rutherford on the ground, along with 77 in the air. So that's over 160 yards total offense for him, and we've only played 15 minutes.
Oh, boy, what a play right there defensively by Scotus. I thought that was going to get picked off. The Shamrocks nearly, Evan Hond, he was the one on the near side, almost picking that off. The defensive line getting his hands up, knowing that maybe if you're not going to get to the quarterback, at least you can bat the ball down.
Yep, Evan Hand, he's a 3-year starter. He started as a sophomore along the offensive line for the Shamrocks.
9:54 left here in the first half. Another quarterback keeper on the left side. Good push there from the left side of the offensive line. Gets about 4 on that play. Going to bring up third down at about 6 in Scotus' side of the field.
And again, I know you don't want you have the quarterback running the ball 30 times a game, but you know this is what's been effective for them so far is Rutherford keeping the ball himself, if not throwing it.
He's going to take a look to the far sideline, see what head coach Troy Hubert has up his sleeve. Good coaching chess match here tonight between Hubert and Scotus head coach Tyler Linder. And the zone read, sweep around the near side, not going to get around the edge. And
boy,
what a big tackle in the backfield.
That was, again, Evan Hand chasing him down from behind. And I thought he might have had a horse collar tackle. That was almost a horse collar tackle there on Ziska. But he was able to make the stop without committing the penalty.
So here's an interesting call, Don. Do you go for it at the 47 of Scotus, or do you try the little pooch kick like you did early in the game?
Well, I think where your defense has had trouble stopping the other team, I think you almost have to go for it here. I mean, I know it's early in the game still, but where you've had trouble stopping them, you almost have to.
And so they are. Fourth down, big play here. Strike over the middle, what a grab. First down, Central City. And the man who had the drop earlier makes up for it with the fourth down conversion. Jake Twist, the 6'1 junior, with a clutch grab.
13 yards on that play.
Rutherford now fakes the pass. He's going to roll left side and run with it 30 and close to the first down marker. And he is going to be right at the marker. Looks like a generous spot. He's going to have the first down. And here come the Bison after that big fourth down conversion. You kind of see a little bit of pep in the step of the Bison after that one.
Yep. Well, when you convert a fourth down like they did, obviously you're going to be fired up, and they certainly are right now. Rutherford over 100 yards rushing already.
First down at 10 for the 24. Another quarterback keeper, kind of the same play. This time, what a play in the backfield. Nowhere to go for Rutherford, and that was kind of a dangerous play. Any tackle by the feet, as you can see him get up slowly there, but what a play by Shamrocks.
Eric Mustard there to make the stop for the Shamrocks.
Second down at 11 from the 25.
We talked about his lineage. Like I said, his uncle played college football. He also played college basketball in North Dakota, so really a two-sport athlete in college was Chad Mustard. Now coaching boys basketball at Bellevue East.
Rutherford back to pass again. No man in the backfield with him. Takes a hit as he throws a strike to the left side. Little out route is complete, and it's going to bring up third down and manageable once again. That's Tanner Schneiderheis with the catch, the junior.
And it was Cade Weesey that almost got to him.
Big third down at 7. Rutherford going to have that quarterback keeper off the left side again. Cuts it back over the middle of the field. Good run down to about the 11-yard line before he is wrapped down from behind. And I tell you what, Central City has found something on that left side of the offensive line. They're opening up some holes for the quarterback, Rutherford.
And again, it's Rutherford, just like he did last year. He did this against the Shamrocks last year as well.
Big play there. Stop on the inside of the defensive line there for Scotus. No running room there for Coleman, the 5'7" senior. Once again, he's not very big, so he's not going to be able to run over people, but trying to score through there, nothing doing.
They actually lost a yard on the play, 2nd and 11, but I think you'll see something with Rutherford with the ball in his hands here on this 2nd down play. Yeah, he's going to keep it himself.
Right around the right side, had a nice block there by Coleman. Gets around the 10, 5, hard tackle. Boy, there's been some hard hits so far. The tackle
he's down.
Made by Dalton Borchers.
Slow to get up.
Able to get up there, but, man, physical game here so far. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4. They can get a 1st down right at about the 2-yard line, roughly, right? Kind of about the 1.5-yard line. So big play here, 2 downs more than likely.
And you might see Rutherford try to throw it here on 3rd down. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if they try and keep him from getting hit after that
and
last
now we've got
shot.
A whistle and something along the line. It's going to be procedure penalty in Central City.
Boy, it seems like every time they get something going, that penalty flag costs them once again.
7 penalties for 58 yards so far here in the first half.
3rd down and 9 coming up here now for the Bison back at their 10-yard line. And a chance here for the Shamrocks to make a big play defensively.
You might see Rutherford take off and run now here on this 3rd down play because, as you said, this is probably 4-down territory for them.
Rutherford back to pass.
Oh,
he's going to throw a lob into the end zone. Incomplete. Making the grab out there on the near sideline was Charles McGinnis. Yeah, the junior, 6'1", makes the grab, but out of bounds. Good coverage there by the Shamrocks to kind of force him to the outer boundary. And now here comes 4th down. Maybe a rollout to the left. A choice for Rutherford to either keep it or run with it. Pass it.
The only thing I don't like about him rolling to his left is that you've got to, as a right-handed quarterback, he's got to throw against his body. But, yeah, that might be the call right here. It might be a run-pass option where he's rolling to the wide side of the field.
Yeah, it's just the tough play with rolling to the near side just because that's the short side of the field. You're really limited. You got a lot of players in the box, and going to be decision time after this quick timeout. 6:29 left to go in the first quarter. We'll take a quick timeout and have another big play coming up here early on in this one. You're listening to High School Football on MyCentralNebraska.com.
Especially the Central City Bison, Nebraska Christian Eagles, High Plains Storm, and Palmer Tigers.
Back here at Pawnee Parks Memorial Stadium, Don Strecker along with Ryan Kump here. And looking at some other scores, it looks like Norfolk Catholic is ahead of Aquinas 3-0. And that is at the half. So a quick game being played down in David City. And 13-0 Columbus at the half out at Norfolk, or rather out at North Platte.
Well, here we go, Don. Big play. 6:29 left, second quarter. 2-score Scotus lead here at home under a gorgeous night at Pawnee Parks Memorial Stadium. And here comes Rutherford in the gun, 4th and 9. Back to pass, looks left, has a man out there, but overthrew him. Had his man, Snyder Hines, the wide receiver in the corner of the end zone, but put too much on it. Incomplete, and a tough break there, turnover on downs.
Well, he was wide open, too. That was a well-designed play, but they just did not execute it well enough. And now Scotus will take over with the long field, but leading 27-12.
And don't be afraid if you're head coach Tyler Linder to more than likely try and get some more points on the board here, not just try and run some clock. Still plenty of time left in this first half. Obviously, they're going to still try and run the football, but, man, this offense has been dynamite here so far for the 1-0 Shamrocks. Zone read, keeper right up the gut for the tailback, get across the 15 to about the 17-yard line. Eric Mustard, who's been so good on both sides of the football. We haven't even talked about him because he's the leading tackler coming into this game, and, you know, he's actually the second leading rusher right behind Palmer by only 2 yards. You see how explosive Palmer is, but Mustard's right behind him. Second down and 3 from the 17 after a 7-yard pickup. 5:56 left in the second quarter. Palmer on the zone read. And another keeper. He's going to be short of the first down by about a yard. And here's another opportunity here for the Bison to try and get off the field against this prolific offense. We'll see what Scotus does. Maybe another one of those zone reads where Palmer can either keep it or hand it off to Mustard.
Yeah, it'll be some sort of an inside zone play. I'm willing to bet they'll probably give it to Mustard on an inside play, more than likely, or maybe an option play. We'll see what they have in store here on 3rd and 1.
Two wide receivers split out to the top of your screen, a tight end to the near side. Looks like they're going to change the play at the line.
Also a wing on the near side here.
Palmer.
And now we've got a stoppage, and I think they were getting short on time here. The clock, the play clock was winding down, and I don't think Tyler Linder thought they were going to get the play off in time.
So once again, Central City and Scotus live right here on mycentralnebraska.com. You know, we already talked about the schedules for both of these two teams. Scotus, what a big year for them as a program, trying to get over the hump and get back to the playoffs again this season. You know, they haven't made it since 2016. What do you think so far of this new look offense, Don?
Well, I think it really plays to what they have offensively. What they've done, what the coaching staff has done is they've tweaked this offense to the point to where it really plays to the strengths of their individual players. Obviously, they keep the ball in the hands of the two players that are the most dynamic players on the field offensively, but it also gives the other players as well an opportunity to shine in this offense when given their opportunity.
All right, so coming out of the timeout, it's going to be Scotus football once again. And we'll see what the Shamrocks can do here on 3rd down and short on their own side of the field, up by 15. 5:12 left to go here in the first half. Palmer's going to have the zone read straight ahead to Mustard, dives forward, and he'll get the first down easily. Coming in on the stop, it's going to be Charles McGinnis and company.
And that was actually a good run there by Mustard. Actually, Central City had that played well, but Mustard able to spin off a couple defenders and get an extra yard and get the first down.
And so here comes Scotus, wasting no time getting to the line. Once again, two wide receivers to the top of the formation. And a rollout play. Boyd Palmer's going to have a deep pass down the far sideline, but overthrew his intended target out there. Another speedster in Jordan Skipton, just a little too far. But tell you what, you see the arm strength for Palmer right there.
There's this baseball throwing ability right there as he overshot Skipton by just a little bit, but enough that Skipton couldn't catch up to the ball.
Of course, this is not the only game we have going on here on our sister stations. Of course, we'll be talking about that. What else you could be tuning into on our radio stations tonight as well after this play. Zone read, 2nd down and 10. Quarterback keeper straight ahead for Palmer. Gets a good run there, about 8 yards up to the 29. And that'll bring up another 3rd down and 2 done. They're going to waste no time getting to the line right here.
7 carries, 123 yards already for Tyler Palmer. And a lot of that, though, was line surge. You could see that he was able to duck upfield and really got about 4 or 5 yards before he was even touched by a Central City defender. That we talked so much about his elusiveness, Palmer's elusiveness, but right there, that was offensive line surge. Good job there by the Scotus front 5 to open up a hole for him.
4:25 left to go in the first half, 27-12. Shamrocks on top of the Bison.
Looks like Jackson Detman having a little bit of a helmet issue, but now that's been fixed and he's ready to roll.
All right, here comes Palmer in the gun. Hard count. Now he's going to look to the near sideline. Has a wristband on his left wrist. Checking the play off. It's an option, the same one he scored on earlier. Makes the man miss. He's going to get the first down up to about the 36-yard line. Once again, showing that shiftiness.
And again, we're seeing two quarterbacks that really are able to get things done with their arms, but certainly with their legs as well. And that's what you've talked about. That's what you talked about earlier about how college football is going to the dual threat quarterbacks. So certainly these two are fit the bill of dual threat quarterbacks, no doubt about it.
Palmer fakes the pass. He's going to look left side, throws over the middle. Intercepted. What a big play here for Central City. Interception down to the Scotus 29-yard line. Pick it off the glass. Sam Moore, the 6-foot junior linebacker, grabs it out of midair. And there's your roll to the left, throw back over the middle. As you were talking earlier, how dangerous that is.
And here's an opportunity for Central City to kind of make some hay here and get back in the ball game. They've got the short field. They haven't had the short field all night. They've had to drive pretty much the length of the field every possession. Now they've got an opportunity here with the short field with the ball at the Scotus 29.
Well, here we go. We'll see what Central City can do with it as Rutherford's going to roll left, throws, and another drop right off the hands of Christian Coleman. Had a wide open target out there in the flat, just couldn't get it to him. As let's go ahead and take a look quickly at this instant replay on this interception.
Yeah, good athleticism. He was able to get high in the air, was Moore, and able to pick it off and bring it back for 11 yards. Nice play there.
All right, here we go. Back to second down and 10 for the 29. Rutherford off the right side, gobbled up in the backfield. Good play there defensively.
Levi Robertson was not fooled by the fake that time. He went right after the quarterback. He did not go for the fake, and that allowed other pursuit to get there, but it was Levi Robertson that really did a nice job on that play.
You know what I'm noticing right now, Don, is every time they run to the left side, Central City, they've had a lot more success than running to the right. So maybe that's going to lead itself to Scotus making some adjustments at the half to try and stop that. It's going to be a jet sweeper on the left side to one of the wide receivers inside the 25. Stiff arms a man down to the 24. Heavy tackle put on as he's forced out of bounds. Charles McGinnis, the 6'1 junior with the run. Hasn't touched the ball a whole lot here this season so far, but a nice run for him there.
You mentioned running to the left. That's the side that Detman is on. The big man for Central City, 235 pounds. He outweighs anybody on Scotus's roster. And so not a surprise that they could make most of their yardage there. It is fourth down.
Big fourth down right here. 4th and 6 for the 25. Rutherford looks right, throws over the middle. Has a man. It's McGinnis over the middle. First down, Central City to the Shamrock 15-yard line. And what a strike over the middle to an open receiver, and he held on.
And you saw, again, the poise that Rutherford had in the pocket that time. Wasn't really worried about anything, just was able to take his time and find his open receiver.
And the quarterback keeper on the left side, a few yards there as the tackle is being put on by Eric Mustard. As we said, he had 15 total tackles in the win last week for the Shamrocks to lead the team. He's been all over the place tonight, and he makes the hit there as now it's 2nd and 7.
Rutherford with 106 yards passing, 120 yards rushing. So he's been responsible for 226 yards of their total offense.
Screen pass around the left side, making a
well
catch
designed.
Is Coleman on the left side, and I think he's got the first down.
He does.
Into the 5-yard line. We'll call it about the 3.5 right there. As boy, there was a heavy rush being put on by Scotus there on the right side. Evan Hand, who we've called his name quite a few times in the first half, done. And a great job by Rutherford, though, to get rid of it. Now 1st and goal at the 4. Rutherford back to pass. He's being rushed, and a big sack there. Back to the 11-yard line. No time in the pocket, and it's Joel Schumacher coming up with a sack.
Boy, Joe coming up with a big sack there, moving him back to the 10-yard line. And that's what Scotus has got to do. They've got to put pressure on the quarterback because right now Rutherford's been able to just stand in the pocket and pick receivers, whichever one he wants.
Minute 35 left to go. Rutherford, screen pass left side through the hands of Coleman. Once again, another drop. That time it was kind of an awkward grab to come down with because it was at his knees. So it was a tough catch there, but tough break here.
And Rutherford was under heavy duress. He was backpedaling as he threw. He couldn't get his feet set, and that's what threw the pass off just a little bit.
All right, a minute 32 left to go here in the first half. 27-12 your score. Central City closing in on another score themselves, trying to desperately get this to a one-possession game. Big play. Rutherford hands it off to Coleman, showing his speed around the near side. Good blocking, lowers the shoulder. He's towards the pylon. Is he going to be short? He is. He's going to be 1 yard short of the goal line, and that's going to bring up 4th down. Don, how about this goal line stand by the Shamrocks?
And that's a pass right there. It goes down as a pass, even though it was took place behind the line of scrimmage, but it's going to bring up 4th and goal at the 1. Big play here for both teams, but especially for Central City trying to get back in this ball game.
Yeah, we'll see if they try and go with Rutherford, the quarterback, try and use Coleman, the halfback, as more of a blocker, or if they go with Coleman, maybe try another one of those jet sweeps, because that last play was a beauty. The wide receivers doing a great job of opening some running lanes around the edge. They're going to let the clock run down here a little bit, make sure Scotus doesn't have any time, no matter what happens, to score, as now we got a timeout on the field.
39 seconds left to play here in the first half, as Scotus is still up 27-12.
Let's go ahead and take a look at our sponsors here once again in the first half. Big thank you to them for helping us tonight with
Absolutely.
our broadcast.
Our sponsors include Trav's You Pharmacy, along with Eye Care Associates of Central City, also McElnay and Company, and the Knights of Columbus. Roy Metter, your Knights of Columbus insurance agent in the Columbus area.
And, of course, Don, we've got our halftime report coming up at the conclusion of this one. And you've got a busy night yet tonight. You got to make it back to the station in time for the scoreboard show.
And I almost didn't last week. I made it by about 10 minutes, so hopefully we can keep this game moving along, and I'll be able to make it back a little sooner tonight. But another high-scoring affair that we've had here so far in the first half, and Central City ready to go here on 4th and 1. I would look for Rutherford, especially with the formation they have, for Rutherford to keep it himself.
All right, 4th and goal at the 1. Quarterback keeper Rutherford lowers his shoulder. I don't think he got it. I don't think he got it. He didn't get it. 4th down stop. The Shamrocks take over on downs with 34 seconds left. And here comes the Shamrock faithful coming to their feet.
Boy, I'll tell you what. And the thing is that Central City telegraphed that play. You could tell exactly as soon as they lined up what they were going to try to do. They were just lining up and saying, we're going to power this in. You try to stop us, and Scotus was up to the task.
So here's a gutsy call right here. You got to watch to make sure you don't have a safety, and it's going to be a good call right there. Palmer, quarterback keeper, straight ahead. He'll get to the 4 just to try and not necessarily break a big play, just try and get your backs out of the end zone right there.
Sometimes what happens when you try to make a big play there is you end up putting the ball on the ground. He did not. He had it gripped pretty tightly to make sure that he held on to it. And I think that's going to be the last play of the first half.
Yeah, down to 10 seconds left to go. Looks like they're just going to go ahead and run out the rest of this first half clock. Well, the first half came down to a lot of offense, but how about the defense for the Shamrocks stepping up at the break? In your halftime score, Scotus 27, Central City 12. You're listening to you're watching high school football here as Scotus on top of Central City. We'll have your halftime report when we come back on mycentralnebraska.com.
At Eye Care Associates, optometrists have been providing comprehensive eye care to Central City, Merritt County, and surrounding communities since 1981. Let the doctors of Eye Care Associates help you take care of your eyes with professional and comprehensive eye exams and state-of-the-art equipment. And if you need glasses, the friendly and helpful staff will help select the frames that fit you best. Better vision and great service. That's all at Eye Care Associates of Central City, where your family's vision is their first concern. McElnay and Company in Central City is the one-stop shop for all of your plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and hardware needs. They provide a range of services, fixing clogged drains and leaking pipes, along with handling septic systems, new installation repairs, commercial and residential projects, and offer backflow prevention testing and repair. They also have the best electrical selection in the area, as well as hardware and lawn and garden supplies. Whether you need help or just a tool to do it yourself, count on McElnay and Company, 306 G Street in Central City.
Chasing what I know is true. There's nothing that I would not do. I won't waste another minute. No, I won't. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man
Are you looking for more from your pharmacy? At Trav's You Save Pharmacy in Central City, you'll get more. They offer flu shots, free Medicare counseling, as well as getting you signed up. Call 308-946-3859. Trav's You Save Pharmacy, 1414 16th Street, or use their convenient drive-through window to get your medication. Trav's You Save Pharmacy, and saying good luck to all the area teams during the fall sports season, especially the Central City Bison, Nebraska Christian Eagles, High Plains Storm, and Palmer Tigers.
The best caterers are Wonderlicks Catering, again voted best caterers and the best chicken. For weddings, anniversaries, funeral dinners, graduations, any occasion, see Wonderlicks Catering, Columbus. Everyone loves the great fresh taste at Taco John's in Columbus on Howard Boulevard, home of the best tacos and best breakfast burritos in town. Unwrap the original at Taco John's, Columbus.
My Taco John's.
Serving the Columbus area since 1880 is Insurance Services of Columbus, the oldest, wholly locally owned insurance company at 13th Street and 23rd Avenue, downtown Columbus. Call Al Nabalski.
Back here at Pawnee Parks Memorial Stadium, we're at halftime here where the Scotus Shamrocks lead the Central City Bison 27-12, and right now we're being entertained by the Scotus Flag Corps. Let's listen in and watch them as they perform to Evanescence. Scotus Flag Corps with a fine performance there to Evanescence. A little Bring Me to Life, I believe, was the name of that song. We are at the halftime break here. Scotus on top of Central City 27-12. Let's look at the scoring summary as it happened. Scotus was able to take advantage of an early turnover by the Central City Bison, a pass interception by Tyler Palmer. He brought it back to the 44-yard line. 2 plays later, he kept himself on a run over the left side and went 43 yards for the touchdown. He also kicked the extra point, and Scotus had the early 7-0 lead. Scotus was able to stop Central City. Central City really hindered themselves early with a lot of penalties in that first half of play, especially in the first quarter. In the first quarter alone, Central City had 53 yards of penalties, 6 penalties for 53. They finished the first half with 7 penalties for 58. But they really slowed themselves down on that first possession after the Scotus score. And Scotus took advantage of it. They took the ensuing punt, drove it downfield, and then Eric Mustard on an 8-yard run on an option play off the left side. Palmer added the kick, and halfway through the first quarter, Scotus had a 14-0 lead. But then Central City got things going, and in fact, Central City had more yardage of total offense in that first half than the Shamrocks did. And it was a lot of it on the legs of their quarterback, Michael Rutherford. Michael, who finished that first half with 123 yards rushing, got 9 of it to cap off the scoring. as he scored on a 9-yard run. They tried the 2-point conversion pass, and that failed. And it was 14-6. But then Central City, after getting to within 8 points, they kicked off to Palmer. And Palmer was able to break through, go 85 yards for the ensuing touchdown. And after the extra point kick, Scotus was back on by 2 possessions, leading 21-6. Then Central City was able to drive down the field again. It capped an 85-yard drive as Christian Coleman caught a 4-yard scoring pass from Michael Rutherford. It was a screen pass on the right side, and Coleman was able to fight through a couple defenders and get into the end zone. Again, the 2-point conversion kick failed, or the conversion run failed, and after 1 quarter, Scotus had a 21-12 lead. Only one score in that second quarter, and again, it was Tyler Palmer on a really nifty run where he was able to fake around a couple of defenders, fake out 2 more, and outrun the rest of the field, 47 yards for the touchdown. He failed on the extra point kick, and that's where we're at right now, 27-12, with Scotus out in front. Let's look at some numbers for the first half. First of all, team numbers. First downs, Central City had 16. Scotus had 9 in that first half of play. Rushing the ball, Central City rushed the ball 29 times for 149 yards. Scotus had 19 rushes for 182 yards. Passing, Central City was 9 of 20 with 1 interception, 124 yards. Scotus was 2 of 4 passing with 1 interception for 30 yards. Total offense, Central City 49 plays for 273 yards. Scotus in that first half ran just 23 plays but gained 212 yards. Both teams had 1 turnover. It was a pass interception. Central City in that first half with 7 penalties for 58 yards, and Scotus in the first half with 5 penalties for 40 yards. Individually for Central City, Michael Rutherford, 21 carries for 123 yards. Christian Coleman had 6 carries for 21 yards. And then Charles McGinnis had 1 carry for 6 yards. For the Scotus Shamrocks rushing, let's stay with Central City, throwing the ball, Michael Rutherford was 9 of 20, 1 interception, 124 yards. His leading receiver was his running back, Christian Coleman, 4 catches for 36 yards. Charles McGinnis had 2 catches for 64 yards. Jake Twist had 2 catches for 18 yards. And Tanner Schneiderhines had 1 catch for 6 yards. For the Scotus Shamrocks, they were led on the ground by Tyler Palmer, 9 carries, 133 yards. Eric Mustard had 7 carries for 35 yards. Dalton Borchers, 1 carry for 7 yards. Evan Bach, 1 carry for 6 yards. And Devin Borchers had 1 carry for 1 yard. Tyler Palmer through the air, 2 of 4, 1 interception for 30 yards. Both of his receptions were by Garrett Oakley. He had the 2 catches for 30 yards. And that all adds up to a 27-12 Scotus lead here at the halftime break.
Yeah, I tell you what, Don, it's been pretty much summing it up. It's a lot of offense. We finally saw the defenses kind of get going there towards the end of the first half, that big 4th down stop for Scotus. Kind of what we expected. I actually am a little surprised with how much offense we've seen so far in this one for the most part. But, yeah, it should be a wild second half. And 2 teams very familiar with each other, with 2 head coaches that are as well. Should be a lot of fun. We're not the only game going on here tonight as well. Just a reminder for everyone, if you're interested, Aquinas taking on Norfolk Catholic over on Clear 101 tonight. Kevin McNabb with the call of that one. Of course, Eric Johnson is in Clarks tonight for Fullerton against Osceola High Plains. Of course, you can listen to that on 93.5 The Hawk at 7 o'clock. So a lot of good football going on here in week number 2, Don.
And we've got some halftime scores here and some third quarter scores. At the half, Lexington with a 32-3 lead over the Schuyler Warriors. Columbus, with 1 minute left in the third quarter, held a 20-0 lead over North Platte. And you mentioned the Norfolk Catholic Aquinas game. The score that we had at the half, Norfolk Catholic with a 3-0 lead over the Aquinas Monarchs. So a lot of defense being played by the Knights and the Monarchs tonight down in David City.
We'll talk about Don. Give us a little preview of what to expect tonight, of course, on the high school scoreboard show. Back again on 93.5 The Hawk. You and Riley Scott going to be in the studio. One of my favorite shows to listen to, especially on a Friday night. You get the highlights. You get the off-the-wall game of the week, I think, is my favorite segment in all of radio.
We're trying to find the wackiest and the weirdest things. And I want to tell you, folks, if you see anything, give us a call there at the studio or send me a text, send me an email, whatever you want to do. You see something weird happen during a high school football game, let us know about it, and we'll we'll certainly consider it. Some of the things that we've seen just in the year that we've done it. Last year we had Ashland Greenwood go down to Fairbury, play them in an absolute driving rainstorm. The only points were scored were a safety where Fairbury, in that driving rainstorm, snapped the ball out of the back of the end zone, and Ashland Greenwood won 2-0. We also saw the York JV girls basketball team play back-to-back 4 overtime games on back-to-back nights. I thought that deserved a little bit of a recognition. We saw Omaha Roncalli go out to Scotts Bluff, saw their quarterback come almost close to, or actually he tied a Class B playoff record, got hurt at the half, and then the Scotts Bluff quarterback in the second half broke that record as Scotts Bluff came back and won on their way to making it to the state finals a year ago. So we've seen a lot of weird things so far, and you're always going to see weird things when you're talking about 16, 17, 18-year-old kids playing a sport, and we've certainly seen that so far here in the little over a year that we've done the high school scoreboard show.
Of course, big thank you to everyone for tuning in and watching tonight's coverage on mycentralnebraska.com. Hope you are enjoying it. If you are, let us know. Give us a like on Facebook at mycentralnebraska.com. We've always got local news, local sports coverage on there as well. And, of course, you can check out our archive of earlier live video stream coverage that we have had in recent years. Of course, this last year, we're always during the summertime live video streaming a lot of the dirt track racing, the tractor pulls locally in the area. Kim, our camera girl, doing a great job tonight as she has done a lot of work with us here this year. MyCentralNebraska.com, doing a lot of great things. Let us know. We're going to do a few more football video streams, also some basketball later on this year. I believe our next live video stream going to be Lakeview as they play host to Bishop Newman. That'll be on September 27th, so in a few short weeks. Now, of course, taking a look ahead for these two teams, Don, once again, we already kind of recapped both teams' schedules. Once again, going ahead with Scotus. It seems like in C1, no one has an easy slate, we'll say the least, with that. Scotus already with the big game against Aquinas. That was a huge win last week, but, you got Pierce, traditional power. Bishop Newman has always been great. Lakeview, tell you what, one of my favorite games to always watch is those crosstown rivalries.
Exactly, and Scotus, as you look at their schedule, they've got to go to Wahoo twice, and I can tell you from personal experience, to go to Wahoo 2 times in a row in one season is very tough. Newman's always tough on their home field, and so are the Wahoo Warriors. So that's very challenging. And, of course, we mentioned Pierce. Pierce, right now, the number 1 rated team in the state in C1. They are right now the favorites to go on and win the state championship or at least make it to the state finals this year. So that's going to be a challenge as well, as they took down Norfolk Catholic last week, 35-14, rather handily. So that's going to be a tough battle. West Point Beamer will not be an easy out either next week up at West Point for the Shamrocks. Let's look at Central City's schedule. And O'Neill is much improved. They were able to knock off Boone Central Newman Grove last week. O'Neill in 2016, I've never seen a team like this before. O'Neill in 2016 went undefeated. They won the state championship. 2 years later, 2018, which was last year, they went winless. Did not win a single game. Now this year they started out with a victory over Boone Central Newman Grove. So evidently their program built back up a little bit, and so that's going to be a tough game for Central City as well next week up at O'Neill on the Blue Jays home field.
Well, you talk about it. If they start 0-2 on the season, that's almost a must-win just to try and ride the ship. So that's going to be kind of backs behind the wall game if you can't come back here tonight. Of course, later on this year, Aurora is never a slouch. That's always a great team.
The thing is, though, is that and this is the nice thing about how they've set up the districts is that you can start off slow like that, but if you come back and win your district, you can still get into the playoffs. Now, you're not going to get a great seed, obviously. In fact, 3 years ago, O'Neill made it in just by winning their district because they did not have a great team that year. They had some injuries and some problems of that nature. And so they had to come down here to Scotus and play the eventual state champions in 2015 and kind of got it handed to them a little bit. But, you know, at least they made it into the playoffs. And I guess that's my point is that, you know, you can start off slow, you can have some problems, but if you win your district, you get in.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. That wraps up your halftime report. Once again, 27-12, Scotus on top of Central City. Second half kickoff when we return on MyCentralNebraska.com.
Ernst is a proud supporter of all area athletes. Finding the vehicle you want at a great price is our priority.
Ernst, the one place. Ernst, great service for a great price. It's Ernst.
At Columbus Community Hospital, your health matters. We offer a complete line of healthcare services close to home. You can count on skilled and compassionate care around the clock. For more information, follow us on social media or visit columbushosp.org.
Keep your business looking good. Call Jackson Services in Columbus, offering uniform and linen rental, entrance mats, mops, paper and soap products, and air fresheners, delivering quality and service to their customers for 90 years. It's Jackson Services.
Loop Power District, serving you electrically, actively promotes economic development throughout the region and maintains 5 area parks for public use. Loop Power District, serving you electrically.
Back here at Pawnee Parks Memorial Stadium, Don Strecker along with Ryan Kump here. Central City won the toss. They elected to receive, so it'll be Scotus's turn to take the football first. And look for them to kick it short, although you will notice they do have Palmer as an up back now rather than deep. The two Borcher brothers are back deep now, standing between the 5 and the 10-yard line. They have Mustard and Palmer moved up to an up back position, so we'll see what Central City decides to do. They try an onside kick, and that's not going to go nearly far enough. In fact, it's going to go backwards and be down at the Central City 38-yard line. A good idea, trying to surprise the Shamrocks, but again, not executed well enough.
Well, Don, hate to break in here for a second, but how about this? You go from a high-scoring game like this. How about the one on Clear 101? Just got a text from Sports Director Kev McNabb on score update. Norfolk Catholic going into the fourth quarter up 3-0 over Aquinas. So quite a bit of a difference in games.
Certainly a defensive battle there between Ron Mimick and Jeff Beller. So Scotus will have it at the 39-yard line, a -1 kickoff for Central City. And Scotus has it 1st and 10 in prime field position. And here is Mustard after a give, and he's got good yardage as he uses some line surge to get across the 30, close to a first down. In fact, I think he's got it. You may see a healthy dose of Eric Mustard here in the second half. He had the most carries of anybody of the Shamrocks there last week. And so we may see him quite a bit here, especially in the third quarter. And here he comes. Actually, no, this is running the football. This is Devin Borchers. And Devin Borchers on a kind of a jet sweep. And he gets to from the 29 down to the 22-yard line. I guess they didn't give him the first down. Now they do.
Yeah,
and now we've got a whistle, and we were going to back it up a little bit. Penalty on Scotus.
Devin, a 5'10 sophomore, 5 carries, 28 yards in the win last week for the Shamrocks.
It looks like they're going to give him yardage down to the 22 and then mark off a 10-yard penalty back to the 32. And I'll tell you what, I think we've got some new chain gang guys over there on the far side. They've kind of struggled a little bit tonight, knowing where to go. And so they'll back him up back to the 32-yard line. And it'll be a first down. It should be a first down. First down and 13, I believe. So the two officials discussing things. They were a little late setting up the chains. In fact, they didn't have the chains set up when Scotus ran that second down play or first down play, and referees did not signal whether it was a first down or not. And so now they're going to go over to the sideline and try to figure out where they should be at. Now they're going to say that was a first down. They're over talking to the head coach right now. Late third quarter, Columbus now on top of North Platte, 26-0. Still don't have them situated right. Now the officials will come in for another conference here. And we'll see if they can get this thing all sorted out. The whole thing started when the chain gang was moving, and the officials did not let them know whether the first down run by Mustard had been enough for a first down. So Scotus got up the line, ran another play with the chain still kind of not sorted out. And now the officials trying to figure out what to do, whether it was a first down or whether it should be second down and short. Clock is stopped during all this. 11:20 left to play here in the third quarter. 27-12, Scotus on top. Again, the Shamrocks coming in off of a victory against Aquinas. Now Coach Tyler Linder out by the numbers, trying to find out what's going on when the officials coming over to talk to him. And we'll see what they decide to do here. The whole question is, did Mustard get a first down on that first down run? And I think that's what they're trying to figure out. Evidently, he did. I thought he did. And now the chain gang trying to move again for whatever reason. And the officials say, no, stay there. Now they give it out. Here's Palmer taking it himself, puts his head down. And he'll get across the 30 down to about the 28-yard line. I'm still not sure if they're exactly right where they're supposed to be, but we're going to play with it. Scotus will have it third down and about 9. And they'll put two receivers to the far side on your screen. Wing to the near side. Now put a wing in motion. Palmer rolls to his left, wants to throw. Looking. Now he's going to take off and run. Spins off a defender and gets close to the 20-yard line. I think he's going to pick up 5 on that play.
Well, at least that gets you to where it's fourth down and manageable. Don, nice play call there. Try and get him out of the pocket. See what he can do either through the air or on the ground. We'll see if maybe they do something like that again to the near side, since it's the longer end of the field.
The one thing that has to make Coach Linder nervous is that Tyler Palmer does have a history of concussions. He missed a game late in his sophomore year because of one, and sometimes you worry about that. Here's Mustard with a first down as they run an option play, and he's run out of bounds at the 14-yard line, a pickup of 8.
Tell you what, Don, that is a play where Central City hasn't had much of an answer, because most of the time Palmer fakes the pitch to Mustard, keeps it, and goes. Man, once you start pitching it to Mustard and he's got open field, I don't know how you're going to stop that. Well,
and the problem we also have is that because so many teams run spreads, you don't see a lot of option anymore. And option really requires a lot of discipline, where you have to have certain assignments. And if you're not used to executing those assignments, it's really tough to be able to be in the right spot at the right time at the moments when they're run. There's Mustard for 4 more. And I really expect to see them run Eric a lot here in the second half.
Yeah, it's really kind of been a methodical drive here in the third quarter. I think the pace has kind of slowed down a little bit as well, running some clock.
Nice play there as they get it to Oakley, and Oakley kind of using a screen there by the other receiver that was out there. I believe that was Borchers. And Oakley able to get it down to the 5-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down by a yard. Boy, and you can see the arm strength again of Palmer as he really fired that ball in there, and Oakley did a nice job of making the catch. Oakley also a baseball player during the spring. He's a first baseman and a catcher. And I believe third baseman as well. There's Mustard, and boy, there's some power right there.
Yeah, we talked about the power of Mustard. You know, he's not the biggest back, but sometimes that can actually help you. At 5'11", he's kind of shorter, so he can kind of get underneath the defender and kind of just use this leverage to push him, and that's exactly what happened. Is we do have an injury.
Well, and
on the
it's
field.
Mustard that's on the field. I think he kind of paid for that hit a little bit, sticking his nose into that part of the field, and so we're going to have a little bit of a break here as they check on Eric.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a quick injury timeout. More third quarter action from Pawnee Park Memorial Stadium when we come back on MyCentralNebraska.com.
Great Plains State Bank in Columbus, Petersburg, and coming soon to O'Neill. For all of your financial needs and the personal service you deserve, whether it's in person or online, contact Great Plains State Bank at 564-6077 or gpsbanks.com. Federal FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
See Peckney & Associates, CPAs for your business, farm, corporate, and individual tax needs. Peckney & Associates, certified public accountants at 2458 18th Avenue in Columbus, and also in downtown Schuyler.
Central Community College Columbus prides itself on being a comprehensive college, providing students the opportunity to learn job skills for immediate use in the growing area or earn credits to transfer to a four-year university. Save money while getting a great education at Central Community College, cccneb.edu.
Back here at Pawnee Parks Memorial Stadium, you see Eric Mustard walking off the field under his own power. It appears to be a cramp, Ryan Kump, and we talked about it last week with a lot of Columbus High players were cramping, and kids forget that you have to drink water. Even if you have a cool night like tonight, you have to drink liquids to stay hydrated.
Well, especially when there's an up-tempo offense like you're running. Now here comes a first and goal from the two without Mustard.
And Palmer trying to draw Central City offsides, and they were showing blitz where their two left side linebackers. Now Palmer takes the snap, gives it off to Bach. Bach sticks his nose in there and gets down to the one.
Tell you what, I've been impressed with Central City here the last few plays, really starting to maybe bottle up this Scotus offensive attack. That's the one thing with a spread. It's really tough to start running, especially between the tackles when you get into the red zone. When you're in the gun, it's kind of one of those things where it's it really helps you between the 20s, but when you get into the red zone, it's really tough. We'll see what they can do here. Second and goal from the one.
Second and goal at the one. Palmer calling his count. Might see him keep it himself. He does. Runs around the outside. He's going to head to the pylon and score. Wow, they're again showing his speed. That is one of the longest one-yard runs you'll ever see, but Palmer again showing his speed. He had a couple of defenders that had him in their crosshairs, and he was just able to escape both of them, get to the outside, and once he got to the outside, nobody was going to catch him.
And once again, he kind of showed, like you were saying, he showed his speed. Good. I thought Central City had him, but just the agility of him to kind of bounce it outside and make two defenders miss. What a run. And we'll try and get an instant replay here in just a few moments on that one.
Josh Faust is holding. The extra point by Palmer is good. So 7:54 left to play in the third. 34-12. Scotus out to a 22-point lead now over the Central City Bison as Palmer has converted on 4 of 5 extra point kicks. He also has 3 touchdowns. So he is accounted for, actually he's run for 4 touchdowns in the game. So 24, he is accounted for 28 of Scotus's 34 points so far here tonight.
Let's go ahead and take a look at that touchdown right there from Palmer. Once again from 1 yard out.
There's 2 Central City guys that have him right there, and he's able to escape from them. And then once he gets to the outside, he's able to get into the end zone for the touchdown. But they had him right there. Normally, most players would not be able to get away from that. They had him trapped inside, but he's got the speed that he's able to get around them to the outside and get in there for the touchdown. And there's a good fake, too. It even faked out our cameraman on that play.
Yeah, Kim had a tough one on that one. That's all right, though, as we're about ready to go for the kickoff. Central City, or Scotus, starting to pull away here a little bit in the third quarter.
Okay, this is going to be a short kick. Ullman bobbles it, picks it up at the 15. Now he's running to his left and gets across 30. Nice play, and he's out to about the 40-yard line. So good return there by Josiah Ullman. And so good field position for Central City to start their first drive here of the third quarter.
34-12. Once again, Central City really needing an answer right here. They've gotten a few answers in the first half when it seemed like Scotus was starting to run away. Can they do so again?
You called that last drive by Scotus methodical. 10 plays, 39 yards. So not real flashy, but efficient. Able to get points on the board. Here's Rutherford going deep, and just out of the outstretched hands of his intended receiver out there. Again, that's Twist. And they really like to send Twist on deep balls, I've noticed. That's 2 or 3 times now that they've tried to go deep to Jake and just not able to connect on any of them so far.
Yeah, it's just been a tough break for Central City because there's been at least 2 or 3 times where you could see this offense. It has the possibility of being super explosive in the passing game. We saw Twist drop one earlier, exact same play actually, and then this one just a little bit overthrown by Rutherford. They're right there for making a play.
Now they get it out to Twist, running a little flanker screen, and he's going to pick up good yardage up close to the midfield stripe. They're going to mark it at the 47-yard line, so it's going to be a pickup of 7.
You know, the tough thing, Don, as well with methodical drive like that, look at the clock already. This is the first drive for Central City, and there's only 7 minutes left in the third quarter as we got a quarterback keeper. Rutherford straight ahead across midfield, lowers his shoulder, gets the first down.
And again, Rutherford, that is his 22nd carry of the game, and we're still nearing the halfway point of the third quarter. So that tells you how much they rely on him for their offense, especially when they're playing the Shamrocks. There goes Rutherford again. He's got another first down. Boy, we are seeing a couple quarterbacks that are very elusive so far here tonight. Rutherford able to get another double-digit gain here as he goes from the 45 down to the 29. That's a gain of 16. And he's up to 147 yards rushing so far in the contest. Quickly up to the line of scrimmage, 5 receivers. Rutherford back to throw. Looking, and he's going to be sacked. Which Borchers was that? I believe that was Devin.
Boy, that was a big rush, Don. Devin Borchers, the 5'10 sophomore. That's a big sack right there. It seemed like Central City once again marching right down the field, but the Shamrocks able to come up with a big play off the edge, and that really pushes the Bison back now.
It puts them behind the sticks now, and brings up a second down and 19. Although with their passing the game, should be able to pick this up. And there goes Coleman again. And Coleman able to get around a couple defenders, split defenders over there outside the numbers, and get the ball from the 37 down to the 27-yard line. So it brings up a 3rd down and 9 situation where they were really behind the sticks earlier.
Already midway through the third quarter, 6 minutes down, 6 minutes to go. Central City really needing some points this drive because if they don't, Scotus could try and run out some more of this clock, and you're starting to run out of time at that point.
Oh, a nice throw and a good catch, and we've got a flag coming in. I'm not sure what that is. Well, that came in from way down deep. We'll see what you would think that's maybe a defensive secondary penalty here. Somebody hit Rutherford hard, and just as he was throwing the football. And that came, I believe, from the back judge. It's going to be pass interference against the Shamrocks.
Yeah, I think even though McGinnis made the grab, it almost looked like the Shamrocks got there a little bit early on the hit. Great catch by McGinnis. He's had a few big catches here tonight. But, that's really going to give the Bison a golden opportunity. They're going to move to the red zone after this one.
Yeah, now keep in mind that pass interference is not an automatic first down, but this should be a first down because it'll be enough yardage if they take the penalty rather than the play. Because it'll be half the distance to the goal down to the 14-yard line, or probably inside the 14. The scrimmage was at the 27. So half the distance would be between the 13 and 14-yard line.
Pass interference against the Shamrocks.
So they will take the penalty, and that'll be a first down for Central City. But yeah, pass interference is not an automatic first down. This will be a first down because it was enough yardage for the first down.
Good call, though, right down to the 14-yard line, as you were saying.
Actually, between the 13 and the 14. We'll call it the 13. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Central City. Rutherford looking over the sideline. He's got one back in the backfield. That is, if I can get my sheet over to the right side here, that's McGinnis. Now Rutherford rolls to his left, looking, being chased, and he's just going to throw it out of bounds. That's widely. Now, I'll tell you something, and Tyler Linder wants intentional grounding. That is obviously should be a intentional grounding, because you cannot just chuck the ball out of bounds. You can in college, you can in the pros. You cannot do that in high school. You have to try to complete a pass, or you've got to have somebody in the vicinity. And Tyler Linder really giving it. Now we've got a personal foul.
I could see that.
Tyler a little bit too emphatic about that.
Yeah, I could see that coming. He was definitely giving the side judge an earful, we'll say the least, and he's still glaring through him a little bit.
I will tell you that I did not see anybody. Oh, they're going to call a sideline warning against Central City. That's
I think
odd.
He pointed to the wrong side.
Okay.
I'm thinking he pointed to the wrong side here. They're definitely there was no one on Central City side even near that play. Yeah, they're going to correct that. That's definitely going to be on Scotus.
Okay, but they're just going to call it a sideline warning, which is just a warning. It'll be a penalty on the second one. But again, I see Tyler Linder's argument is that there was nobody on that side of the field, and you cannot just chuck the ball out of bounds if you are in high school football. You have to have a receiver in the area, and there was none there. Second down and 10. Ball back at the 13-yard line. They'll throw it out quick to the left side. That's Ullman. And Ullman able to get inside the 10, knocked down about the 9 or the 8-yard line. And so that will bring up a 3rd down and 5 situation as he picked up 5 on that play.
I do like, Don, though, that the side judge didn't call the personal foul penalty against him. They just gave him a warning. You know, football's an emotional game, so it's great to see them not penalize that sometimes. Nice pass over the middle, though, and it's a grab for a 1st down just shy of the goal line.
Snyder Hines with a nice catch there, and they're going to mark it at the 2. That's a gain of 7 on the play.
And they're going to hurry up to the line, Don, here. Shotgun formation. They're looking to score again.
And now we've got a whistle and we've got a flag, maybe trying to go a little bit too fast that time. And that is going to be against Central City. Sometimes when you hustle like that, you go before everybody's ready, and sometimes you have movement in the interior of the line, especially if you have to. A lot of times centers have to make calls and stuff like that, and sometimes linemen have to get set, and they're not ready yet. So they'll go with an empty backfield, 5-yard penalty against Central City. They're 63 yards in penalties tonight. On 8 penalties, back to throw, and now Rutherford's trying to run, and he's going to be taken down by Evan Hand. Evan has done a nice job tonight defensively for the Shamrocks, as he was able to get a hold of him and keep him from really getting loose.
Yeah, he had a great game last week. 14 tackles, 1 shy of the time for the team lead. And, yeah, we've called his name off the edge quite a few times tonight. And here comes 2nd and goal from the 7. Once again, Central City can't get a 1st down here. It's either score or nothing for them. So this is a big last few plays.
And they really need a score here. They're down 3 possessions. Throwing it out there to Coleman. Coleman makes a nice move to get inside, and he's in there for the touchdown. Nice move by Christian Coleman. He was able to make the catch on a swing pass, and the Scotus defender was in position, but Coleman able to make him miss and then beat the rest of the defense to the pylon. And so Coleman with the touchdown catch. That's his 2nd of the game, and the 2nd touchdown pass of the game for Rutherford. And so now they will go for the 2-point, or I would assume they'll go for 2. They've done it so far tonight. They have not kicked one as of yet. They are down 34-18. And now they snap it quickly to Coleman, and Coleman's in for the 2-point conversion. So Coleman able to get it into the end zone on the 2-point conversion run. And with 3:40, make that 3:51 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Scotus leads 34-20, down to a 2-possession game. Back after this here on mycentralnebraska.com.
At Eye Care Associates, optometrists have been providing comprehensive eye care to Central City, Merritt County, and surrounding communities since 1981. Let the doctors of Eye Care Associates help you take care of your eyes with professional and comprehensive eye exams and state-of-the-art equipment. And if you need glasses, the friendly and helpful staff will help select the frames that fit you best. Better vision and great service. That's all at Eye Care Associates of Central City, where your family's vision is their first concern.
So Central City with a nice drive as they went 60 yards on that drive. And they get it into the end zone on a 7-yard pass from Rutherford to Coleman. And then the 2-point conversion run by Coleman makes it 34-20. Still 3:51 left to play here in the third quarter. Still a lot of time left in this one, Ryan Kump.
Yeah, that's right. That was a big answer, though, for Central City. We'll take a look at the instant replay after this kickoff. The last time Central City kicked off, they tried the onside. It looks like Scotus maybe kind of playing that way here, just in case. We'll see what the Bison do here on this kickoff with still a little bit of time left in the third quarter.
And a short kick. Going to be taken by one of the backs. And he'll get up to the 35 and get face masked big time. That's going to be a big penalty. Probably a 15-yarder as they bring him down. Jordan Skipton brings it up.
Well, while they look at that one, Don, let's go back to this instant replay.
It was just a
here.
swing pass. So they've got Coleman out here on this left side. And then Rutherford able to just hit it out to him. And he makes a really nice move. Oakley was in position to make the stop, but he was able to kind of give Oakley a little bit of a shake and bake. Fake right, go left, and then beat a couple other Shamrocks to the pylon and score the touchdown. But another penalty on Central City, and they have really hurt themselves with penalties here tonight. 78 yards in penalties. That's 9 penalties for 78 yards.
Well, the biggest thing is that puts it across midfield for Scotus. They're in the driver's seat already.
And the short field again for the Shamrocks. Palmer waits for the count. Gives it off to Mustard, who's back in the ball game, and he's going to get short yardage as he drags a couple defenders down close to the 45. Gain of a couple on the play. And Central City's done a nice job of corralling Mustard for the most part. He's only had a couple good carries so far tonight. He's got 12 carries for 61 yards. But like I said earlier, I expect to see a lot more of Eric Mustard here in the last 15 minutes of this ball game as they try to burn some clock here. Here's Mustard again running the right side. Good block on the perimeter by Borchers, and Mustard able to use that block and get a first down.
Boy, I tell you what, that right there showed both the burst as soon as he got around the edge and then also the strength for Eric Mustard. Man, he's kind of a bowling ball getting down the field. He just lowers his shoulder and keeps his forward momentum going.
And he's a hard-nosed player, too. He's been playing since his freshman year. He got some good playing time as a freshman, and that is paying off here his senior year. They fake it to him again. Palmer's going to keep it himself. Gets away from the defender. Look out as he gets to the outside by the numbers. He gets a block from Mustard. Now cuts to the inside, and he's got the first down.
Wow, what a play by Palmer. There was nothing out there. I mean, he just had nowhere to go with it, but he just kind of made something out of nothing. Unfortunately, we got an injury on the field right now. Looks like a Central City Bison down on the field, but man, what a run by Palmer there. Just got it right around the edge. He's just faster than the other guys.
And the thing is that because of that speed, it allows him to do things that other players couldn't do. There's not a lot of players in the state that could get away from that pursuit right there, but he was able to break those tackles. And the thing you have to do with Palmer is that you've got to really put a shoulder into him. You can't just arm tackle him because he's going to break those arm tackles.
Of course, both teams taking a knee right now for the injured defender for the Bison. Not sure what number it is here just yet, just too far down the field. The training staff doing a great job of getting on the scene and taking a look. Head coach Troy Hubert checking on the player as well. 2:37 left to go here in the third quarter.
And what I like to see is not only is the Central City trainer over there, but the Scotus trainer is out there as well. So a couple different people checking on him as well.
Of course, Scotus with a big drive here in the third quarter, but the Bison trying to hang in there here tonight. Of course, they've been kind of behind the 8 ball since really early in that first quarter. They've done a lot to stay in the game, but just seems like they can't get over the hump and get this thing to a one-score game.
The slow start is really coming back to haunt them. The interception on their first possession, the multitude of penalties on their second possession, and that puts Scotus up 14-0. That's your difference right now. They've been running uphill ever since, falling behind the 14-0.
Well, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors here one more time. Of course, a lot of great ones here pitching in for our broadcast here tonight.
We've got Trav's USAFE Pharmacy, along with Eye Care Associates of Central City, McElnay and Company, and the Knights of Columbus. Roy Metter, your insurance agent in the Columbus area. I also forgot to mention we need to remember Clock Tower Auto Mall. They sponsor our halftime show. Log on to clocktowerauto.com to see their inventory or go to their location at 805 23rd Street in Columbus. And remember, at Clock Tower Auto Mall, they'll make time for you.
Of course, after the games are over, you can check out the Hawks Scoreboard Show. You're going to just hop and skip jump across town over to the west side of Columbus, and you and Riley Scott will be bringing that to you at 10:30 tonight. Of course, you can listen to that right here at mycentralnebraska.com. You should see the right side icon and click on the Listen Live link for 93.5 The Hawk.
Also, don't forget, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, over on our sister station, KLIR, the Pinnacle Bank Coaches Show, we'll have Coach Tyler Linder talking about this game. We'll also have Craig Williams talking about Columbus High's game, and also Kurt Friend talking about the Lakeview game tonight against Douglas County West out at Lakeview Stadium.
Well, tough break here, Don. Unfortunately, this is the worst nightmare for anyone watching, especially a high school game. They are bringing out the backboard for the injured Central City Bison. Once again, we still do not have word on which player it is, and once again, we can't speak of any injury information. And so, once again, we're going to go ahead and take a quick injury timeout and come back. You're listening and watching high school football on mycentralnebraska.com.
McElnay and Company in Central City is the one-stop shop for all of your plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and hardware needs. They provide a range of services, fixing clogged drains and leaking pipes, along with handling septic systems, new installation repairs, commercial and residential projects, and offer backflow prevention testing and repair. They also have the best electrical selection in the area, as well as hardware and lawn and garden supplies. Whether you need help or just a tool to do it yourself, count on McElnay and Company, 306 G Street in Central City.
Chasing what I know is true. There's nothing that I would not do. I won't waste another minute. No, I won't. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission.
Are you looking for more from your pharmacy? At Trav's USAFE Pharmacy in Central City, you'll get more. They offer flu shots, free Medicare counseling, as well as getting you signed up. Call 308-946-3859. Trav's USAFE Pharmacy, 1414 16th Street, or use their convenient drive-through window to get your medication. Trav's USAFE Pharmacy, and saying good luck to all the area teams during the fall sports season, especially the Central City Bison, Nebraska Christian Eagles, High Plains Storm, and Palmer Tigers.
The best caterers are Wonderlicks Catering, again voted best caterers and the best chicken. For weddings, anniversaries, funeral dinners, graduations, any occasion, see Wonderlicks Catering, Columbus. Everyone loves the great fresh taste at Taco John's in Columbus on Howard Boulevard. Home of the best tacos and best breakfast burritos in town. Unwrap the original at Taco John's, Columbus.
My Taco John's.
Serving the Columbus area since 1880 is Insurance Services of Columbus, the oldest, wholly locally owned insurance company at 13th Street and 23rd Avenue, downtown Columbus. Call Al Nabalski.
Ernst is a proud supporter of all area athletes. Finding the vehicle you want at a great price is our priority.
Ernst, the one place. Ernst, great service for a great price. It's Ernst.
At Columbus Community Hospital, your health matters. We offer a complete line of healthcare services close to home. You can count on skilled and compassionate care around the clock. For more information, follow us on social media or visit columbushosp.org.
Keep your business looking good. Call Jackson Services in Columbus, offering uniform and linen rental, entrance mats, mops, paper and soap products, and air fresheners, delivering quality and service to their customers for 90 years. It's Jackson Services.
Loop Power District, serving you electrically, actively promotes economic development throughout the region and maintains 5 area parks for public use. Loop Power District, serving you electrically.
Great Plains State Bank in Columbus, Petersburg, and coming soon to O'Neill. For all of your financial needs and the personal service you deserve, whether it's in person or online, contact Great Plains State Bank at 564-6077 or gpsbanks.com. Federal FDIC equal housing lender.
See Peckney & Associates, CPAs for your business, farm, corporate, and individual tax needs. Peckney & Associates, certified public accountants at 2458 18th Avenue in Columbus, and also in downtown Schuyler.
Central Community College Columbus prides itself on being a comprehensive college, providing students the opportunity to learn job skills for immediate use in the growing area or earn credits to transfer to a 4-year university. Save money while getting a great education at Central Community College, cccneb.edu. At Eye Care Associates, optometrists have been providing comprehensive eye care to Central City, Merritt County, and surrounding communities since 1981. Let the doctors of Eye Care Associates help you take care of your eyes with professional and comprehensive eye exams and state-of-the-art equipment. And if you need glasses, the friendly and helpful staff will help select the frames that fit you best. Better vision and great service. That's all at Eye Care Associates of Central City, where your family's vision is their first concern. McElnay & Company in Central City is the one-stop shop for all of your plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and hardware needs. They provide a range of services, fixing clogged drains and leaking pipes, along with handling septic systems, new installation repairs, commercial and residential projects, and offer backflow prevention testing and repair. They also have the best electrical selection in the area, as well as hardware and lawn and garden supplies. Whether you need help or just a tool to do it yourself, count on McElnay & Company, 306 G Street in Central City.
Chasing what I know is true. There's nothing that I would not do. I won't waste another minute. No, I won't. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission.
Are you looking for more from your pharmacy? At Trav's You Save Pharmacy in Central City, you'll get more. They offer flu shots, free Medicare counseling, as well as getting you signed up. Call 308-946-3859. Trav's You Save Pharmacy, 1414 16th Street, or use their convenient drive-through window to get your medication. Trav's You Save Pharmacy, and saying good luck to all the area teams during the fall sports season, especially the Central City Bison, Nebraska Christian Eagles, High Plains Storm, and Palmer Tigers.
Don Strucker back here at Pawnee Parks Memorial Stadium along with Ryan Kump. We are still waiting for them to, as they are still attending, I should say, to the injured Central City player that was injured on the last play run by Tyler Palmer as he got the ball down to the 17-yard line. And let's, Ryan, take a moment and really salute the play of the medical staff. They had a special thing at the beginning of the game for the Central City and the Scotus trainers tonight, as well as trainers throughout the country at all the high schools, secondary schools throughout the country, and really honored them. And now I think those trainers and medical staff really earning their pay tonight as they're taking very good care of this injured Central City player.
Yeah, and once again, we do not know which player it is. We have not been able to find a number, and once we know that, we will go ahead and share that with you. And, we were even mentioning it earlier. It's great to see both sidelines immediately going over to help with the injured player as, it was definitely a pretty scary moment for everyone here, of course, at Pawnee Park Memorial Stadium. They're being very careful with the injured Bison. They have gotten him onto the side by side, the back of the four-wheeler, to
I've
make sure
got
he gets on the field.
I've got the binoculars on him. I see a 6, but I don't want to say that is number 6 or anything like that until I'm sure. But they are taking very, very carefully, moving so that they don't jar him in any way that would be damaging. And
yeah, you know, the other really neat thing to see, you really hate to see an injury, but, you know, both sides have been on a knee. That's even including Scotus this whole time. It's been at least 10 minutes now probably since the injury has happened, and everyone getting on their feet, standing ovation from both the Shamrock and Bison faithful, which is great to see.
Salute to the Columbus Fire and Rescue for being on the job right there, as they will take him to the ambulance, take him to a medical facility, and give him the care that he needs to have.
Once again, we don't officially have word on which player it is. We can just send the best wishes to him on a recovery, and hopefully it's not too serious. Getting reset back in this game, this is once again still a very tight contest, 14-point game, 2:37 left to go. Now this is going to be tough, especially for Central City. They have to refocus now and get back mentally into this game.
And some interesting things happening here. They're going to give both teams an opportunity to kind of get stretched out a little bit more. Scotus down on the near sideline. Obviously, they're offering up prayers for the injured player right now. So good sportsmanship there on the part of the Shamrocks. Also, I see Merlin Lom, the athletic director of Scotus, out there talking to one of the officials. But Central City also over there trying to get loosened up again. And this is they've talked a lot about concussions and about serious injuries in high school football. This is still, as Coach Tom Osborne said one time, this is a Spartan sport. This is a tough game, and sometimes you're going to have stuff like that happen, and you just hope for the best for that player and for his family as well.
Well, the other thing everyone has to keep in mind is this is actually the safest this football game, this game in general has ever been. The technology in the helmets, the pads, the training. Everyone kind of has an idea now of how hard to push a player before it's too much. You know, most teams don't even do 2-a-days anymore. You know, that's the thing. Teams used to do even 3-a-days back in the day. They cut all that kind of stuff out. The turf now is softer for better hits, you know, when someone's on the ground. That's another big testament to how far this game has come.
And you also have concussion protocol now. They're really being careful with kids who suffer concussions. I'm not sure about Central City's protocol or anything, but I do know with Scotus, I had kids that played at Scotus. I had kids that suffered concussions at Scotus. And I know that at Scotus, and I think also at Lakeview and Columbus High, they also they have to pass what's called an impact test before they're allowed to get back on the field. And so if they don't pass that test, they're not allowed back on the field. They're not allowed to play again until they pass that test. And so I think that's something, too, that lends itself to a safer game than what we had back in the day, at least when I played.
Well, if you didn't hear over the PA, they announced that there's going to be a 3-minute warm-up period for both teams. Once again, the whole time this has been going on, both teams have been on a knee. So, making sure everyone's stretched out. We've already seen a lot of players go down possibly with cramps earlier tonight. So everyone's just going to kind of reset here. Not for sure how much time is left in that 3 minutes. They don't have it up on the clock, but we do have 2:37 left to go in this one. Let's just kind of recap where we are right now. Once again, this game jumped off to a Scotus early lead. What was it, I believe, 14-0 before Central City finally got going in this one.
And, again, a slow start by Central City has really put them behind the 8 ball so far here tonight. Interception on their second play from scrimmage, then a bunch of penalties, really stymied their second possession. Since then, they've been able to move the ball up and down the field on Scotus. In fact, they had more yards at the half than the Shamrocks did. But because of that slow start, Scotus has been able to ride that to a 14-point lead. We were talking during one of the breaks, about an event that we've got coming up tomorrow.
That's right.
At Alpha Media in Columbus here, we will have a Husker tailgate party that's out at McChristie Jewelers. They're along 23rd Street. Come on out, free admission, not free food, but free admission. Big screen TVs. We'll have 3 big screen TVs up. We'll have under a big tent. We'll have food and
alcoholic beverages, or all the goodies for the adults and the kids. This is not
Bounce
just
House.
an adult, only show.
Also prizes as well. So come on out and have some fun as we watch Nebraska take on Colorado. Here comes Mustard back the other way, and Eric Mustard's going to be close to a first down as he runs over the right side. And he's right at the stick here.
And once again, that just a last quick thought on that. Gates open at 2 tomorrow, game at 2:30. All right, let's go. Scotus trying to punch it in right now. 1st and 10. Actually, 1st and goal now. They're within striking distance of the end zone once again.
And they fake it. Now here's Palmer trying to get away, and this time they do knock him down back at the 10-yard line. Finally, they get Palmer corralled and knocked down, and the players are coming in fired up because they have not been able to corral him on very many occasions, but they were able to do it that time.
Defensive end Eric Lenz coming down on the stop. He's an 195-pound junior defensive end. Big shot up in the upper body of Palmer on that play. Probably felt that one a little bit as it's now 2nd and goal.
Palmer with 3 receivers to the right, wing to the left. Back to throw, looking, fires, and threw it behind Oakley, I believe. That's become his favorite receiver, it appears to me. That's who he looks for, especially when he needs a completion, and that's certainly who he's been looking to so far this evening.
Yeah, and in game 1 last week, of course, Palmer had 2 touchdown passes. One of those was to Oakley. The other was to Dalton Borchers, and almost got another one right there.
3rd and goal, ball at the 10. They are in field goal range. They put an option play, and here comes Bach running the left side, and he's going to be knocked down. Ball is loose, but he gets it back. Back at the 7-yard line. We also have a penalty flag that's laying right at the goal line. So this will be an interesting call as well. This might be a holding penalty on the Shamrocks. We'll see.
Well, it was actually where they made the tackle, right when they made the tackle.
Right.
And yeah, that's right. Good call there, Don.
It is a holding penalty.
The big thing
they'll
is
mark it down at the 8. So we'll see if Central City wants to take it or if they take the play. They might want to take the play. We'll see here.
Yeah, that's the big thing because, once again, Scotus can't get a first down, so that would be a good idea to push him back a little bit more because, right now I guess it would be 4th down, so it'd be 1 play. So
they're going to decline the penalty. It'll be 4th down and goal, ball at the 8-yard line.
Well, here we go. Make a stop here. Central City's back in this one.
And it looks like they're going to go for the touchdown. They will discard the field goal, which is a little bit unusual. Most years, Scotus has had a field goal kicker that could kick it from there. Palmer back to throw, looking, passes incomplete. Tried to find Dalton Borchers over in the corner of the end zone. That was Ullman that almost picked it off. And so Central City holds Scotus on downs at their own 8-yard line. And so the Bison with a chance to take over here. And they've been able to drive about this length of the field and score in the past. So we'll see if they're able to do so again here.
Well, can you believe it? I believe this is only the 2nd possession for Central City as well. We've had 3 possessions in this 3rd quarter. It's just been run, run, run.
Rutherford in the gun. He's got receivers all over the place. And along with his 5 down linemen, puts a man in motion, fakes a handoff, back to throw. Boy, he wants to go deep again, and Palmer almost had it picked off. Tyler thought he should have had his 2nd pick of the night, but he goes off his hands.
Tried to fit it into double coverage right there. There was really nowhere to go with the football, trying to hit Josiah Ullman on that play. Good coverage by the Shamrocks.
And in the past, when they've had that long pass, especially to twist, he's been able to get behind the defense. That time the defense was back far enough to where he could not get open. 2nd down. Rutherford quickly out. Pass is caught, and the receiver is going to get up close to a first down. Boy, a good move there. Was that Ullman again? It was. as he was able to get yardage up to the 17-yard line.
Seems like with this offense, the key is to get that first down so they can get the tempo going. And like we said earlier, they can get that rhythm going in offense. Here it is, 3rd down and short. Diving grab for Ullman. I think he got it. That's a first down. What a snag.
First down.
It wasn't the most accurate pass by Rutherford, but it works.
Hey, it works.
45 seconds left in the quarter, and quickly come the Bison to the line.
Now they give it off on a running play, and not much room there. Actually, Rutherford keeps it himself, and he's going to get a yard from the 20th to the 21-yard line. And so they're moving quickly here. And again, it's all a rhythm thing. If you're not committing penalties, you get into a rhythm, and then you're able to move the football. And now we've got a whistle, and just as I mentioned it, the broadcaster jinx strikes again.
Never fails. It just doesn't. You know, it's crazy how that works, but it's 16 seconds left. Probably have one more play here in the 3rd quarter for the Bison, depending on if they go to the air here or not, which is what they've been doing quite a bit.
10 penalties for 83 yards tonight for Central City.
That's week 1 numbers.
It is. Put a man in motion away from the formation. That's Coleman. Now they hit a slant, and it's close to a first down. Snyder-Hines is going to be about 2 yards short of the first down. Pickup of 12 on the play, and that'll do it for the 3rd quarter of play. We've played 3 quarters here at the Pawnee Parks Memorial Stadium. It's Scotus 34, Central City 20. Back with the beginning of the 4th after this. You're watching high school football on mycentralnebraska.com.
At Eye Care Associates, optometrists have been providing comprehensive eye care to Central City, Merritt County, and surrounding communities since 1981. Let the doctors of Eye Care Associates help you take care of your eyes with professional and comprehensive eye exams and state-of-the-art equipment. And if you need glasses, the friendly and helpful staff will help select the frames that fit you best. Better vision and great service. That's all at Eye Care Associates of Central City, where your family's vision is their first concern. McElday & Company in Central City is the one-stop shop for all of your plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and hardware needs. They provide a range of services, fixing clogged drains and leaking pipes, along with handling septic systems, new installation repairs, commercial and residential projects, and offer backflow prevention testing and repair. They also have the best electrical selection in the area, as well as hardware and lawn and garden supplies. Whether you need help or just a tool to do it yourself, count on McElday & Company, 306 G Street in Central City.
Don Strucker, Ryan Kump back at Pawnee Parks Memorial Stadium. We begin the 4th quarter here with Central City in possession of the football. They've got a 3rd and 1 at the 28-yard line. And the Bison are down 34-20. Ryan Kump here with me.
Well, here we go, Don. Big play to start the 4th quarter. Rutherford, quarterback draw on 3rd down and 1. He's going to be wrapped up, but he's going to have the first down. But, hey, surprise, surprise, penalty flag.
You know, we haven't had a lot of those since the 1st quarter, but it seems like when we do mention it, they come up. So we'll see what the penalty is here. This is a big penalty if it's against Central City on a hold, and it is a hold against the Bison. Boy, that is a huge call there on 3rd and 1. They would have had the first down, but instead that's going to put them at a 3rd and long, 3rd and behind the sticks.
Well, here comes a big play. You know, you've had a few nice throws through the air, some big plays on 3rd down in the past. We'll see what head coach Troy Hebert does here. It's going to be 3rd down and long. They're going to go inside their 20-yard line. They'll call it at the 18-ish yard line.
3rd and 11. They've got to get it to the 29 for a first down.
This is the area where you've seen Scotus be able to get some pass rush and get a few sacks in this game, pin their ears back. We'll see what they do here as it's only Rutherford in the backfield, so no one's going to be back there to help him in pass protection other than the line as we've got movement up front. I think Scotus kind of drew him off a little bit there, a little bit of movement, and that kind of drew the left side of the offensive line off, and that's another 5-yard penalty against Central City. They're going in reverse right now.
12 penalties for 98 yards. This is what happened to them on their second possession of the 1st quarter and what really led to them having to punt the ball away and led to Scotus' second touchdown.
We'll see if Scotus tries to go into prevent mode right now, trying not to make keep everything in front of them, essentially. Trips to the near side.
They're going with a double safety right now.
And Rutherford drops back, still has plenty of time, rolls left, throws over the middle, and it's deflected. Nothing there. Trying to hit Ullman over the middle.
Nice play there by Garrett Oakley. He really did a nice job of closing on the football and timed it just right so that he didn't get called for pass interference, was able to knock down Ullman just as the ball arrived.
Now, it looks like they're in the gun, but I'm pretty sure they're going to go ahead and punt this as Rutherford's going to take a few steps back. So I tell you what, Scotus could have some really good field position right here, pending on the punt. It's going to be a line drive. It's going to hit. What a big bounce for Central City. It went from the 40 all the way across midfield. How about that one? It goes into Scotus territory down to the 43, and so that kind of flips the field position a little bit.
It ends up being a 40-yard punt. It's not the prettiest 40-yard punt you've ever seen, but it was effective.
Had a little bit of English on that one.
It did. A little bit of a draw there and kind of a side spin to it a little bit. And so Scotus will take over 1st and 10 at its own 43.
All right. Down to about 11 minutes left to go in this one. Scotus has not had as many explosive plays here in the second half, but I tell you what, they've been efficient offensively, just running the ball. It's going to be a give around the right side to Mustard. He's going to lower his shoulder, and he'll gain about a yard, but that's just kind of been the offense here in the second half, just lull Central City to sleep with a few pops and then just run some clock.
Yeah, and again, they going with Mustard a little bit more in the second half, and Eric in the past has shown that he has the ability to be able to make some big runs, make some big plays. We're not able to do so on that one, but they force 2nd and 9 now.
Hard count there by Palmer. Almost got Central City to draw.
Central City showing blitz here on 2nd and long.
Yeah, they had at least 2 guys coming, one off that left side and then one to the near side. We'll see if they are faking or they go. It's going to be a give straight ahead. Boy, nothing doing there. Central City, I tell you what, impressed with their defense here in the second half. They got torched in the first half, but they've started to hold their own here in the second.
And I think they know the same thing that I've been saying. They're looking for Eric Mustard to run the ball because Scotus wants to, as we mentioned, run clock. They don't want to throw a lot of passes and have a lot of incompletions, a lot of clock stoppages. They have a 2-score lead, so they want to play a little bit more closer to the vest, and Central City's been ready for it.
Well, we're down under 10 minutes left to go in this one. 2 wide receivers split out to the near side, a halfback in the backfield with Palmer. He's going to play action, and oh, there was a give up front. Boy, what a fake, and it's going to be a give for a first down to the 45. It's still going. No tackle there, but Devin Borchers, how about that run? And what a call. I did not realize he gave the football up. That was such a great fake by Palmer.
I think that was a double reverse. They used to run that out of that wing T set where they would give the ball to the fullback, and then fullback would give it, or correction, they would give the ball to one halfback and he would give it to the other halfback. I think it was a version of that where they gave the ball to Mustard, then Mustard gave it inside to Borchers coming around the other side, and very effective play. And so now Scotus kind of gets themselves out of jail a little bit. They were 3rd and long and now able to now run some more clock with the ball in Central City territory.
That might actually be the conversion of the game, because now even if they don't score, they're going to run maybe another 2 to 3 minutes of clock, and that's not what Central City has in mind right now.
And they're starting to run clock. You could see Tyler Palmer look at the back, look behind him at the score. Now here's the play clock. The back judge starting to the count. And
gonna throw it right side.
Got
has
it wide open.
Wide open down to the 25. 6'1" senior making the grab, and Central City wasn't ready for that one. Little out route down the far sideline. Moves the chains down to the Central City 25-yard line.
19-yard gain.
Yeah, Scotus in business now. Tell you what, they get a touchdown here. That can almost put the game away.
The back judge, when the play clock gets under 5 seconds, you will start seeing him count in the background. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And so that's what Tyler Palmer is waiting for right now. They want to run as much clock as they can. So now he signals it down to 3 seconds on the play clock. Now he gives it off to the running back.
That'll be a give to Luke Prismus, and he's going to be close to the first down marker. Just methodical once again. I tell you what, it's a different formation, kind of a different style, but the same concepts. But they're running this like they've been running it for a few years. You can't tell that this is the first year in this style of offense out of the shotgun.
Luke Prismus there on the carry. His brother, I can't think of his first name now.
Second down and 1 coming up here.
Yep, he was the quarterback on the state championship team.
Second down and 1 from the 16. Palmer in the gun. Motions a man in the backfield. It'll be give. A sweep around the near side. Breaking a tackle. Lowering his shoulder down to the 11. And Dalton Borchers again with the run. And I tell you what, I think Central City may start to be getting tired here. You see on that defensive line, some hands at the hips. These guys have been out there on the field a lot in this second half. I know they're out there fighting, but at some point, your defense just starts to give in there a little bit. Shotgun formation here for Palmer. Motions the tight end from the left to the right. Palmer, option. Wow, that's been an effective play. Pitches it to Mustard. He'll lower his shoulder. He's back in the game, and he'll get inside the 5 and down to about the 3-yard line. That's another 8 yards, I believe, for Mustard. Down to 7.5 minutes left done. Time starting to run out for Central City here.
And Mustard now at 96 yards on 17 carries. Brady Prismus was the quarterback on Scotus' 2015 state championship team. That's his younger brother Luke that had the carry a few plays ago.
34-20. Shamrocks trying to go to 2-0 on the season. How about this? Back-to-back big wins, possibly, if they can hold on here. And a low snap as Palmer grabbed it. We got a penalty flag, and I think it's going to go against the Shamrocks.
It is.
Legal procedure against the offense. That'll
for
push
Scotus
back.
For Scotus, that's 8 penalties for 69 yards. If Scotus does go to 2-0, that would be the first time since that state championship team in 2015 that Scotus would start the season 2-0.
Well, once again, Central City made the playoffs last year. I mean, they're not a slouch. They got 10 players, 10 seniors and 10 juniors returning from last year's playoff team. And so they still got a lot of talent on that team. And this would be a pretty big step forward, especially with breaking in a new offensive philosophy, at least from the gun, coming from taking snaps under center to taking them in the gun. A lot of change this year for the Shamrocks, at least offensively. 2nd and 7 from about the 9-yard line. They're going to quickly sprint up to the line under 7 minutes left. One wide receiver split out to the
told them
side.
to start the clock, but the clock is not running right now. So we'll go ahead and snap it.
Handoff straight ahead. Mustard lowers his shoulder down to about the 4-yard line, down to the 3.
That's a pickup of 5, so he basically got the yardage back that they lost on the penalty, and he is over 100 yards now on the night. So 18 carries, 101 for Mustard. Of course, Palmer, 14 carries for a 153.
6.5 minutes left to go at Pawnee Parks Memorial Stadium. Not quite as many fireworks here in the second half, but I tell you what, it's been a fun one to watch so far tonight. Couldn't have asked for better weather and better play on the field from these two teams.
And also with that carry, Scotus over 300 yards rushing for the second week in a row.
Option right side. Palmer pitches out. Mustard close towards the goal line.
Touchdown.
He's in. Touchdown, Shamrocks. And that'll put them up 40-20. And I tell you what, the Shamrocks really starting to run away with this one, literally in this one. Now 40-20 your score. Field goal coming for the Shamrocks. And, well, they're 6.5 minutes away from going to 2-0 on the season.
The extra point will be Tyler Palmer.
Palmer.
Will be Josh Faust.
Josh Faust to hold.
And so Palmer on to kick it. That's pretty fantastic. He pretty much touches the ball every play, no matter if it's on special teams, offense, or defense, and he gets the field goal to go through the extra point. 41-20. Scotus starting to run away with this one. We'll be back in just a little bit here on MyCentralNebraska.com.
I'm chasing what I know is true. There's nothing that I would not do. I won't waste another minute. No, I won't. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission.
And welcome back here on MyCentralNebraska.com, live from Pawnee Park's Memorial Stadium. Kickoff time once again, and it's all Shamrocks in the second half. And so we'll have the kickoff here in just a few moments. 41-20, your score. And so Josiah Ullman back to return for Central City in desperate need of some late heroics here. Good kick, bounces to the 15, returned at about the 12-yard line. Ullman up the far side, shimmies across one defender, and he'll get up to about the 34-yard line. Take a look at that last touchdown for Scotus. Nice, once again, option here for the Shamrocks. The pitch to Mustard, as you're seeing it live here, as fakes to the run to the left, cuts back to the right, pitches out to Mustard, and he dives into the end zone for the touchdown. And what a play there for Scotus. And now here comes Central City, desperate need of some points and in a hurry right now, as it'll be a drop back pass for Rutherford. He's going to roll near side, throws over the middle, dangerous pass. Think he was trying to go to the intended target of Josiah Ullman, but he missed his target there. There were 3 Shamrocks in the vicinity right there, and we're down under 6 minutes left to go. Of course, Don, about ready to head on out here tonight. Of course, make sure you tune in tonight, either on MyCentralNebraska.com or at 93.5 The Hawk for the Hawk Scoreboard Show at 10:30.
I'm heading out right now. Listen on the Scoreboard Show on 93.5 The Hawk. Talk to you later, Ryan.
All right, thanks a lot to Don for checking in with us. Swing pass around the far sideline from Rutherford, and it'll be a completion to Twist. Twist haven't called his name a lot here in the second half. That's the 34th pass by Rutherford. Completion over the middle. McGinnis makes the grab. First down up to the 49 of Central City. And that'll be an 8-yard pickup on the 35th pass from Rutherford here tonight. McGinnis, that's going to be his third reception for 72 yards. And now Rutherford quickly to the line, 1st and 10. He'll get across midfield on a run. And it'll be a tackle by Garrett Oakley on the stop. Now to 5:09 left to go. Big thank you to everyone for tuning in to tonight's coverage. Hurry up once again here for Rutherford, as he got 7 on that play. And now another run for Rutherford, this time stopped to the backfield. Coming up with a stop was Caleb Weezy and company. Scotus finally getting some pressure on the quarterback there. Nowhere to go for Rutherford. He'll lose 5 yards on that run. And now in the gun. Rutherford back to pass, swings it left, completion out on the far side to Coleman, breaks a tackle. Here he goes across the far sideline. That'll be a first down for Central City, and all of a sudden the Bison quickly going to rush to the line. Eric Mustard on the stop, 4.5 minutes left to go. The Bison really going to have to work quickly here. 13-yard completion here. And back to passes. Rutherford throws over the middle. It's complete to McGinnis. 20, 15, still inside the 10. Dragging a tackler down to the 6-yard line. And it's 1st and goal, Central City.
Tackle led by number 2, Evan Bach.
What a pitch and catch. Central City really starting to roll now. And so now down to the 6-yard line. That was a 30-yard completion to McGinnis. He's now over 100 yards receiving. Timeout called by Scotus. They want to talk it over on their sideline. And I tell you what, Michael Rutherford has been fantastic here tonight. Coleman with that 13-yard completion. He's at 66 yards receiving on 7 catches. He's been kind of that safety valve for Rutherford here tonight. We're down to 4:04 left to go. We do want to thank our sponsors once again in Trav's You Save Pharmacy, also Eye Care Associates of Central City, McElday and Company, also the Knights of Columbus for sponsoring. Don't forget, after the last 4 minutes of this one are done, we'll have your Window World post-game show as we'll go through all of the highlights of this one along with your stats, and we'll get these two teams set for next week. Of course, Scotus looking to go 2-0 on the season. Central City looks like they're 4 minutes away from going 0-2 to start 2019. Season's still young for both of these two teams, but a lot to like on the Shamrock side. The Bison going to have some work to do. Rutherford, though, not done yet. A 21-point Shamrock lead, but the Bison charging down the field here in the late stages of this one. Now we got some confusion, and looks like Central City's going to have to call a timeout here as well. Big thank you to Kim, our camera woman, for keeping us on the air tonight, out and about outside the press box here. She does a great job as always. Great crowd on hand here at Pawnee Parks Memorial Stadium. Of course, you can catch Don at the Hawk Scoreboard Show later on tonight. We do invite everyone out to the largest tailgate party tomorrow in Columbus, right over by McChristie Jewelers. We'll be under the big tent. Flat screen, huge giant flat screen TVs. Some alcoholic beverages for the parents. Plenty of games for the kids. Come on out. Gates open at 2. Of course, Nebraska taking on Colorado. You can watch it live with us. We'll have plenty of door prizes. Kickoff at 2:30. Out of the timeout, first and goal from the 6. Handoff left side. Coleman fights towards the pylon. He beats the defender in for a 6-yard touchdown run. And Christian Coleman tacks on 6 more for the Bison. It's now 41-26 with the point after to come. And once again, we haven't seen Central City kick it a lot tonight. They've done a lot of those 2-point conversions. Now they're going to motion in. They'll try the extra point, just try and make this a 14-point game at this point. Trevor Ziska going to come on for the extra point. It's on its way. It is up, and it is good. So, Central City not done yet. Expected onside kickoff when we come back. Your score, Scotus 41, Central City 27. You're listening to high school football on mycentralnebraska.com.
Are you looking for more from your pharmacy? At Trav's You Save Pharmacy in Central City, you'll get more. They offer flu shots, free Medicare counseling, as well as getting you signed up. Call 308-946-3859. Trav's You Save Pharmacy, 1414 16th Street, or use their convenient drive-through window to get your medication. Trav's You Save Pharmacy, and saying good luck to all the area teams during the fall sports season, especially the Central City Bison, Nebraska Christian Eagles, High Plains Storm, and Palmer Tigers.
And welcome back, everybody, here to Pawnee Parks Memorial Stadium. Ryan Cuff called the action for you here in the late stages of this one. Looks like both teams about ready to kick things off. The hands team out there for the Shamrocks. And so we'll see if they can create some late game magic. Down 41-27. So Coleman with the 6-yard touchdown run. And so the onside kick to come. Trevor Ziska to try and get a big bounce here. And it'll be an onside kick left side, little pooch. It gets past the Scotus defender, but goes out of bounds. It's going to be Shamrock football. And so the onside kick just not quite doing it there. Let's go ahead and take a look at that instant replay here. Sweep around the left side. Coleman finding some open territory there, and he scores the touchdown. And at least it gets Central City feeling good at the end of this one, as it looks like more than likely they're going to go 0-2 to start 2019. So here comes the Shamrocks Ball at their own 48-yard line. Look for them to not force anything, just try and run the rest of this clock. Maybe a healthy dose of mustard here. Palmer's going to keep it. Fakes left, he'll go right. Squirts through the defense. He'll get across midfield to about the Central City 48. That's a 4-yard carry for Palmer. What a night for Palmer. 157 rushing yards on 15 carries for the senior. Had 148 yards on 20 carries last week, so he's very efficient running the football. Big play potential for number 18, that's for sure. He'll look to the near side, as you can see on your screen. Getting the call, he'll take a look at that wristband and get the play. And it'll be a sweep around the left side. Borchers gets around the corner, lowers his shoulder, he'll get the first down. And he'll get down to the 40, another 8-yard pickup for Borchers. 4 carries, 28 yards for Borchers and sophomore. And looks like Scotus maybe needing one more first down to end this one. That's about all it's going to take. 41-27, 3 minutes left to go. Big start to 2019 for the Shamrocks. Palmer will take his time coming to the line here. Just trying to run as much of that clock off as he can. And he'll take the snap, and he'll just hand it off to Mustard straight ahead. He'll get to the 37. Another 3 yards for Eric Mustard, who's been extremely efficient as well. Mustard, that's his 20th carry of the night. He's over 100 yards. 107 yards of rushing for him here tonight. Second and 7 now from the 37. Down under 2 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in this one. Mustard's going to line to the left of Palmer on this play. And it'll be a zone read, hand off to Mustard straight ahead. He'll lower his shoulder and get down about the 30-yard line. Another 7-yard pickup to be just short of that first down marker. I think they're going to mark him short. The 31, so it'll be a 6-yard pickup for Mustard. His 21st carry of the night. Got a timeout called by Central City. Down to a minute 48 left. They know this is kind of do or die for them. Scotus, really, if they don't get it here, they can at least try and go for it on 4th down. Once again, if you do enjoy our coverage, let us know. Give us a like on Facebook at mycentralnebraska.com on Facebook. Of course, we've got plenty of local sports and news coverage on mycentralnebraska.com. We also have plenty of live video streaming events throughout this season. We have a lot of dirt track racing we just got through during the summer months. That's on our archive. If you just scroll down after you're done with this game here tonight, you can check it out. And once again, we'll be back with a few more high school football games. We'll also be doing plenty of high school basketball later on this season as well. So hopefully you are enjoying our coverage here tonight. And so here it is, 3rd down and 1. Scotus gets the conversion here. This game should be over. Palmer in the gun. 2 men at the top of the formation here. Look for him to maybe keep this one. It'll be a handoff to Mustard, though. Left side lowers his shoulder. He's easily got it. He was met by a few defenders, but too little too late. McGinnis on the tackle along with Snyder Hines, but that'll do it. 3 yards there for Mustard. 116 yards for Eric here tonight. Minute 35 left to go. Maybe about 3 more snaps for the Shamrocks to end this one. Once again, they just take their time. They get to the line right away, but then Palmer just sits in a stance there for about an extra 10 seconds before taking the snap. He'll swing it out right side. He's got a man open. Completion. And that's another first down. Kind of caught Central City off guard. Dalton Borchers with the reception. And they'll get it down to the 11-yard line. 17-yard pickup for Palmer. That's only his 4th completion on 9 attempts here tonight. But he's been extremely efficient on the ground, so he hasn't had to be efficient through the air. 71 yards total on the night for him. We got a penalty flag coming down. Offside. Actually, league of procedure offensively for the Shamrocks. That'll push him back 5 yards. Down to 58 seconds left to go in this one. Once again, we do hope to have you stick around for our Window World postgame show. We'll wrap up the coverage from Pawnee Park's Memorial Stadium here tonight. Scotus going to go to 2-0 on the season. Central City going to drop to 0-2. It was 27-12 at the half. Scotus on top. They just pull away in the second half. And looks like down to 35 seconds left here. Timeout called by Scotus. So they'll take one more snap here more than likely, and that'll pretty well do it. Taking a look at what these two teams have coming up next. Scotus going to be at home against on the road against West Point Beamer next Friday night. Then they'll be back at home for 2 straight games against Pierce and Raymond Central. Back on the road against Bishop Newman. Then a big game October 11th against Columbus Lakeview. Rivalry game there. Then they'll play Logan View, Scribner Snyder, and Wahoo to wrap up the regular season. Central City, they're going to be on the road against O'Neill next week, try and break that 0-2 start. Then they'll be against Ord, Milford, GICC, Fairbury, Fillmore Central, and a tough game against Aurora to end the regular season. The victory formation, maybe the coach's most favorite play in all of football. Palmer is going to take it, and that will pretty much do it right there. The kneel, and down to 20 seconds left to go from an impressive win tonight here for the Shamrocks. And that will pretty much do it, down to 10 seconds left. And both teams already shaking hands, and that will do it here tonight. Central City gonna go to 2-0 on the season. They'll come to the center of the field, and the Shamrocks take down the Bison at home here tonight. We're going to wrap things up when we come back. You're watching high school football on MyCentralNebraska.com.
At Eye Care Associates, optometrists have been providing comprehensive eye care to Central City, Merritt County, and surrounding communities since 1981. Let the doctors of Eye Care Associates help you take care of your eyes with professional and comprehensive eye exams and state-of-the-art equipment. And if you need glasses, the friendly and helpful staff will help select the frames that fit you best. Better vision and great service. That's all at Eye Care Associates of Central City, where your family's vision is their first concern. McElday & Company in Central City is the one-stop shop for all of your plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and hardware needs. They provide a range of services, fixing clogged drains and leaking pipes, along with handling septic systems, new installation repairs, commercial and residential projects, and offer backflow prevention testing and repair. They also have the best electrical selection in the area, as well as hardware and lawn and garden supplies. Whether you need help or just a tool to do it yourself, count on McElday & Company, 306 G Street in Central City.
Chasing what I know is true. There's nothing that I would not do. I won't waste another minute. No, I won't. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission.
Are you looking for more from your pharmacy? At Trav's You Save Pharmacy in Central City, you'll get more. They offer flu shots, free Medicare counseling, as well as getting you signed up. Call 308-946-3859. Trav's You Save Pharmacy, 1414 16th Street, or use their convenient drive-through window to get your medication. Trav's USA Pharmacy, and saying good luck to all the area teams during the fall sports season, especially the Central City Bison, Nebraska Christian Eagles, High Plains Storm, and Palmer Tigers.
And welcome back here as we wrap up our coverage tonight on MyCentralNebraska.com. Your final Scotus 41, Central City 27. As we begin your Window World postgame show, Window World, simply the best for all of your window and siding needs. It's Window World of Northeast Nebraska. You can check them out at windowworldnen.com. Well, let's go ahead and recap the scoring in this one. It was quite a bit of scoring in the first half, to say the least, as this game started off with interception thrown by Central City, and then Scotus capped off the drive with a Tyler Palmer touchdown run, 43 yards. And then Eric Mustard came back with an 8-yard run to put Scotus up 14-0. Michael Rutherford came back with a 9-yard run for Central City in the first quarter to put the Bison back within one score. But then Palmer, an 85-yard kickoff return to put the Shamrocks up by 2 scores. Then Rutherford came back with a nice strike to Coleman, of course, for the touchdown. Christian Coleman, a 4-yarder. Palmer came back with a big 47-yard run, which might be the play of the game tonight. Boy, what a run for him as he juked out about 3 defenders on the play. He came back for another quick rushing touchdown later, and then Coleman coming back with a 7-yarder from Michael Rutherford. Mustard came back with a 3-yard touchdown run, and then the scoring was capped off with a Christian Coleman 6-yard touchdown run with 6 minutes left to go in this one. Taking a look at your stats here tonight. Michael Rutherford ending the night 21 of 37, 210 yards. Had a costly interception to start the game, but was very efficient from there on out. Boy, he was a workhorse to say the least, rushing the football tonight as well. 28 carries, 141 yards for Rutherford. He had a 21 carry minus 18-yard rushing performance last week, but he improves on that number this week. Christian Coleman was held pretty much in check on night, 8 carries for 27 yards. He did have 7 catches for 66 yards. Charles McGinnis had 4 catches for 102 yards receiving as well. For Scotus, Tyler Palmer was not asked to pass it much. He went 5 of 9 through the air for 71 yards tonight. He was a workhorse on the ground, though. 15 carries, 157 yards. Eric Mustard, 22 carries, 116 yards tonight. Devin Borchers pitched in 4 carries for 28 yards. Of course, Garrett Oakley had 3 receptions for 35 yards, and Dalton Borchers 2 catches for 36 yards. So with the win, the Shamrocks go to 2-0 on the season. They drop Central City to 0-1. Once again, taking a look at what these two teams have coming ahead of them. Central City going to be on the road against O'Neill next Friday night. They'll have Ord right after that. Scotus going to be on the road next week at West Point Beamer before they come back home against Pierce. And so that's a look ahead for both teams here in the coming weeks. Big thank you to Kim Miller for doing a fantastic job on camera here tonight. Of course, Don Stryker having to jet out just a little bit early. He did a fantastic job helping me out. Big thank you to him for helping out with play-by-play here tonight, as I was pretty busy doing some production, getting those instant replays for you guys as well. Hopefully you enjoyed those. Of course, we do invite you to tune in to 93.5 The Hawk, or if you see on the right side of that tab here on MyCentralNebraska.com, there's the Listen Live link for 93.5 The Hawk. You can find that on the home page, and you can listen to the Hawk Scoreboard Show at 10:30. Full highlights and recaps from all of our games that we had on our Alpha Media stations. Of course, Don Stryker will also have all the scores from around the state of Nebraska, plus his off-the-wall game of the week. He and Riley Scott will be in studio for that. Before we head out here tonight, I want to thank our sponsors one more time. In Trav's USA Pharmacy, also Eye Care Associates of Central City, McElday and Company, and the Knights of Columbus for sponsoring live video streaming coverage of high school football on MyCentralNebraska.com. For Kim Miller and also Don Stryker, I am Ryan Kumpf saying so long from Pawnee Park's Memorial Stadium.